Okay, take two.
Mm-hmm.
Sky fucked it up.
This time with less
nearly
talk.
lost our players.
Okay, guys.
Nice
So for the
job.
second time,
Guys,
yeet.
let's stop. Thank you. Stop while we're ahead.
Oh.
So, last time, the Monarch purified the shard. It was almost a disaster. Dear God, those D100 rolls.
Ugh. There's first two.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah. Whitefire went to Ashta. The Ix was then cleared and changed to Fane. He now has bonus Fane. After that, or rather during that, we were heading towards the center of the Plains of Wrath. Along the way, we killed the dragon in the cage. We're waiting on the eggs question. I think that Esther still doesn't know about them because we were trying to be careful about that. Esther and Caius talked to Aquarius about Sagittarius. A lot of stuff we either knew or guessed before. Mounted combatant. Apparently he's cruel and Aquarius avoided him and he likes taking prisoners. Don't let that happen to us. Noted. Some plans were made regarding Rosalind's dream spell and various messages and so on, both then and later in the session. And we got to the plains and we found a massive encampment on the plains, and the west side of it is on fire. And we've got the front kind of lined out in these little blue boxes on the map. The warlord came up and in order to talk with us. And this mounted salamander on some kind of flying beastie. Nightmare it seemed, flaming horse. Fired an arrow at the back of the warlord's head from a mile away. Arrow had a note that said, "Quit hiding in your fortress," and then he took off.
Of note, the back of the head was on at 20, but still.
Yeah. All we know right now about Sagittarius, because that was him, is his main hiding place is in or at the edge of the desert. If we can get a plan together, we can try some kind of assassination with Caius kind of appropriated for our group instead of just being sent in the war with the warlord. Unfortunately, after a week out of game, in like sporadic contact and a little bit of time in game, we don't really have a plan beyond we need more information, here's how we might get it. Also, Ashta's figured out how to teleport to Lucy instead of Lucy teleporting to him, somehow. Little weird, might take some workshopping, but it's on the table. That's all I got. Let's do this.
Quick question. Who is Lucy again?
Lucifer, the horse.
Thank you.
And warning in advance for the recording. At least half of us are very tired right now. So this is good. Alright, so. As you each were given, I believe, an hour by the warlord to discuss what plan you plan to present to him and his council. Some of you have separated. You have time in game now to officially decide what you plan to say. As a reminder, Ashta and Caius will be the ones to speak.
Caius will be escorting Ashta into the meeting.
Yep.
That was already known, but
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
So-
sorry.
Frick. Okay, guys, what the hell is our plan?
So, yeah, so far
as
what
you
we've got is, if we have the afternoon, we can get more potential information. We have contacts we can get into.
If we have overnight, we can get more.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Spell.
And that basically we need to talk to people who are asleep. On top of that, the two general things we had were either just figuring out scrying on them, which I guess can be conflated with the information gathering, or I believe it was said before, with some sort of pincer attack, in which we send the warlord one direction, and we kind of come from the other side.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult if it turns out that Sagittarius hangs out in the very middle of his army at all times.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially
And
given
he
what
calls
he
us
does.
a coward.
Yeah, no.
Knowing
He's-
his range, though, he could stay towards the back.
The thing is, pincer isn't gonna work if there's a huge buffer of soldiers.
Okay, I have an idea, and it's an idea that we've used before.
Okay.
If we can just get within range of Sagittarius, we could bring him somewhere else.
Oh, no.
Potential problem with that is then one or more of us is who knows where with him.
Yeah, well, the basic thing would be that we grab him, swipe him, and this time instead of taking prisoner, we murder him, and he doesn't have his armies with him, and we're removed from that scenario.
Alright.
How many people can be teleported using it?
Whoever's in range.
A whole party plus one was
so
done
we
last
can have
time.
squadrons.
Yeah, but what if there's anything else he has that makes people sort of so they can't get close to him? That can also be a thing.
Yeah, well, yes, but that's...
Maybe we should try scrying.
We can only go on so much of, but what if he has this or that or the other?
Yeah.
We still need something we
So-
need to try.
That is good. I like that. And there's also
Yeah.
like the holding spells too. Like he can get hold personed or some shit if that works.
There's- The only things we should assume he has is ones that are, like, basically fairly easy and would not make sense for him to be where he is right now if he didn't have it, such as...
Should we assume a legendary resistance?
That I'm not gonna...
Yeah.
Again, it's that he... I'm saying specifically, like, outside of what's on his sheet, just assume the resources he has are anything that would basically have made his life difficult to get to where he is right now without. So, interplanar travel, some sort of long-range communication with other people in his...
Well, I'm assuming
Speed and
also
flight.
if he uses fire is probably not the best thing to use against him.
As far as I can... Ash knows what fire cell. Yeah, Conrad.
Well, they're just salamanders, but yes.
He knows that they don't even flinch at fire, right?
Yeah, they are straight up immune to fire. In fact, they are so on fire, they light things around them on fire just by their presence.
Wow, I'm SOL. Awesome.
Yeah, Ash relays that Esyther is a match in front of a salamander's bonfire.
Awesome! Fuck, everything we fight.
Everything
It's
we
the
fight what?
most resisted element thing.
Yeah, fire is legit like one of the...
No, I know, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Statistics Monster Manual.
As a reminder,
Fire and poison.
that does allow you to ignore resistance to fire, just not immunity. Esther.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, our plan is now get more information, have time. Maybe if we can get close enough somehow, we can separate him from the bulk of his army and take him
We
out
basically
one-on-one.
bring him in. Yeah, we basically bring him into an arena.
It'd be best to
number
isolate him.
Number one, that thing is very inaccurate. We can end up anywhere. We can end up in the middle of an ocean.
And that could say, I mean, water.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that's...
on the upside...
well, that's for us coming back.
Yeah.
Okay,
But we
It's just
here's a
looking-
thought.
Okay.
Okay.
We ring up Orzer and we go, hey, can you make a demi-plane?
Oh.
He has done that without risk of the portals and stuff, so that can work.
And
Would it be a demi-plane that we'd be able to orb teleport into?
Can we Yeah, we can teleport
did it.
through planes with that.
Yeah,
Bo did it. He just had to put his hand...
Bo did
Well,
it
we did it.
because he was there when it was cast.
Yeah.
No,
did- I know
he
we
was
did-
there when it was being active.
Yeah, I know we
Regard.
did plane of ice to material, but I don't know if we can teleport into demi-planes. I'm not sure.
Out of character, like just rules, Conrad. Plane shift, put it to a demi-plane.
You cannot. To do that, it would require you to have the tuning fork attuned to that demiplane. Assuming you had that, yes.
All right.
Obviously, getting that attuned to a very specific demiplane is very difficult to do, and it doesn't happen very often. But plane shift could technically do this, yes.
Alternatively, if you know the sigil sequence of teleportation circle on another plane of existence, this spell can take you to that circle.
That is true. However, that would require there to being a teleportation circle in there. That would have to be a permanent one as opposed to a temporary.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying that's a. I'm just saying it out loud in case I've forgotten. We know a teleportation circle somewhere.
We do know a teleportation circle.
Where?
I know the teleportation circle to Valeri.
On another plane. I mean,
Oh, never mind then.
we can't plane shift from material to material. I don't think.
Oh, the orb is specifically for plane shift.
I believe so.
Okay, then.
We
Is that
also,
right, Conrad? It's just plane shift, right?
I am checking the sheet right now just to confirm.
The general also did say we'd have about 200 and I believe 60 something soldiers at our disposal.
268.
Mostly, huh?
268.
268 soldiers at our disposal. They won't be able to do much in the face of Sagittarius, but they could at least hold off his army.
Yeah. Well, that's.
We could also split his army, as in create several different attacks on several different lines of his defenses. They're dispersing his army and giving us a straight path to Sagittarius.
I guess we could also
Yeah.
do that too. Keep in mind they're not going to stop attacking once we start attacking.
No, they won't, but it at least gives us a better opportunity of being able to even reach him.
Depends on where he is, depends on if he's reachable by those means.
We need to do a bit more reconnaissance for this.
Yeah, so our best right now to come to the was it like the General's Council or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically his generals.
The Warlords Generals.
Yeah.
That we have means of recon and getting more we potentially have a contact over in the Genasi Desert. We just need the evening and morning to
Pretty much.
come through on the.
And any reconnaissance they've already done that they could give us could also be helpful.
Mhm.
Basically,
Okay.
we have the means to do a number of things, but we can't choose which thing to aim for because we don't know details.
So, in general, is it fair to say that your plan to speak to the generals and the warlords, that you need at least 1 day worth of time to gather further information from their resources, and until then, any information they have is important. In general, that's the summation, yes?
Sorry, say that last bit again?
Any information that the warlords and generals might have would also be very useful in aiding this, so that they can create a more concrete plan with your assistance and you getting their assistance.
Yeah, that's about fair. I will say before we go in and Ashta's probably just Ashta. I don't know how Caius is on war tactics, but
Yeah.
basically once the conversation is going down and if there is any sort of rough plan going, is there any priorities we want to hit on?
I'm so glad I wrote a massively long note on how the tactics go. By the way, to answer the question on... sorry, words are hard. To answer the question on the orb, it is not the plane shift spell. It is, you can shift planes. You can teleport to anywhere that you can think concretely of. With a D1000 roll for how many miles close to it you get. And everyone within 10 feet of your choice, meaning the person holding the orb, can choose who comes with them. Sorry, they don't get to choose, it's whoever's within 10 feet comes with them. You can use this once per week.
And I don't think we've used it in the last week, so...
Yeah, no. But just reading the rules, the note that I wrote.
Alright. Okay, so it's not technically the plane shift spell, and it's basically just... It's a shaky-handed plane shift. With absolute.
Well, it's not necessarily on different planes. You can go on your plane too.
Oh, I thought you said you can. I thought it said shift.
It's technically the wording is you can teleport. There's just no limit on whether or not it's to your plane or another.
Okay. Good to know.
Yay.
So if we wanted, we could teleport Sagittarius into the middle of the ocean.
Only if we came along with.
Yeah. Well, if Ashta came along with.
Yeah, excuse you, absolutely not. Don't you dare. Don't you
Although-
dare.
Okay. Crazy plan.
Yeah.
I don't suggest you guys do this, but you could technically. Plane shift in the middle of the ocean, teleport Ashta to Lucy. Just saying. Possibility. Those are two things you can do.
Teleport what?
But at that point, we
What?
drop Sagittarius off in like the
Exactly.
negative energy plane,
Yes.
which I know
I'm
you
just,
don't do.
I'm
But
just
like,
laughing at the
kind
idea of that.
What if, crazy idea, what if we go to a different plane and just cast banishment on all of us and willingly fail the saving throw to get back?
I mean,
Funny.
Okay, but that's still like we're not killing Sagittarius. We're stranding him somewhere.
yeah, we do need to finish the job,
That's
really.
true.
Yeah. The I say the plane shift basically so we can get a 1v our party arena against him.
Pretty
One
much.
B
Yeah.
party.
Mhm.
We just need him fucking isolated.
Well, to get
so his
back at
army
least.
works up.
To get back, listen, we pick up Issa first in Anther today, while planning happens. We get Issa attuned to the castle's crystal. Issa might not have Fane at this point, but it would be good to give her some. If she doesn't, then wherever we are when we're done, we just feign the birds. The birds tell the monarch tells Issa, and Issa flies there.
Yeah. Is it a 10-foot radius for the orb?
Yep.
Yeah. So we don't have
It
to
is everything in 10 feet.
that you
Also,
choose.
might I recommend that if we do transport Sagittarius somewhere, let's take him somewhere cold.
I don't think that matters.
I don't think. Just not somewhere hot.
Yeah.
I mean, just not somewhere heavily wooded or grasslandy, so we don't start a massive fire, but...
That too.
Yes.
At least
Yeah.
someplace
Um,
barren. Barren is what I
Also,
meant.
keep in mind,
Yeah.
we've got a 1,000-foot-mile radius around the point we choose, where we could end up. We'd
Stick
better
him in
not-
the middle of the
don't-
fucking desert.
Don't plan too concretely for this, okay?
Yeah. Middle of the desert could work.
Look, we could try to teleport him and us to the middle of the desert and end up smack in the middle of the patchwork forest.
Or the Plains of Wrath again.
Or that, yeah. So...
God, wouldn't that be some shit if we just ended up like 20 feet from where we were?
Yeah.
Or into
Army
the
is,
ocean.
like, the army is like panicking. They're like, "Where did he go? Where did he go?"
Oh, there he is.
Right.
Yeah, we
Side. Oh,
we've
Okay,
yeah,
is
we've
this
been
the plan
really
we're
lucky.
presenting? Get us within
No.
10 feet of Sagittarius and we'll just get him out of there?
Well, it's get us 1 to 10 foot Sagittarius, and we'll take him with us, and we can fight it out and leave him,
fucking
leave the opposing army down a
Leader.
main leader.
Down a yeah.
Alright.
There's
is-
no
yeah.
way for us to bring our squads with us, is there? Unless they're like real close to.
Honestly,
There is, but I'm thinking mortality rates here.
honestly,
Yeah, we.
I was not
Exactly.
planning on getting the squads involved in this. They are
Yeah, no.
in charge of scouting out our island and prepping that. I don't
Yep.
want them
And
fighting
defending
us.
everyone from the fucking
Yes.
All right.
orbital
that's fair.
assault.
Can I raise a concern about the orb?
Go on.
So if are we gonna like? We could end up in giant land or in the fucking ocean, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Like it's 1,000 miles. Fucking. So this
Could we-
is. Oh fuck.
Could we
Show to others,
waterboard
this
him?
Is 250. Fucking 100 something in the north. We could end up in giant land. We could end up in fucking Lucerne.
Yes, we
Who
could be in an entirely different country.
We
That
could
would
be
be
in an entirely
fun.
different country, or we could be in the water.
Yeah.
You could
If
Yeah,
we
we
really want to say
literally
fucking
be on
Conrad
another
and
continent.
entirely different.
Yeah,
continent.
we could be
Yeah.
on a different.
We could be in the
continent.
endless ocean.
Yeah, we could find where Hey There fucking Delilah went. So
Basically, I know, but if we do that, what do we have a plan for if we end
And
up in
again,
the ocean?
1,000 miles is
We
the
call Lucy.
assumed worst
fight
thing.
on horseback.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
but can we all
Yeah.
get Lucy?
No, Ashta would have to be on Lucy for Lucy to have wings.
Wait,
Yeah.
okay, so fucking Sagittarius has a mount, right?
Yeah.
So we can choose not to bring the mount.
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
so
Fucking
I have
waterboard
to again
Yeah.
correct one more time what I said there. It's everyone within 10 feet, choose or not. It is
Oh,
every
okay.
creature within 10 feet.
Got it. Okay, that changes that.
So we knock the asshole off his horse.
Drag him. We could stun him, get him off the horse, drag him away. Orb.
Could we please drown Sagittarius? That would be the easiest fucking thing
It's
in the world.
not gonna work like that.
No, it's gonna work like that now.
If he has even like a +2 to Constitution, which he very much probably does, he's fine.
It'd probably be a bitch getting him off the horse too. He probably has
Yeah.
dex for days, and
He's an
Conrad really wants
experienced-
mounted combat right now.
Yep.
He's also
He really
a very
does.
experienced rider.
Okay.
Yeah, so we could try and fight with the horse, or at least get the horse down while getting him down using AoEs.
Or we could stun him.
At this point,
Yeah.
can we just say, let's leave all of that detail planning until we're actually in an encounter with him?
Yep.
For now?
I just
Yes.
want to figure out basically if they were asking for a direction we were going or anything like that, or when we
The
do have the
Basic structure
information.
of the plan.
We've got a lot of potential plans.
Yes. But yes, our basic for
Yeah.
dealing with Sagittarius, if and when we get to him, is potentially that or just fighting him.
Yes.
But Ashta is fucking tuned for elementals, and other people have other stuff. Okay. After the party deliberates for a while,
Okay.
this guy, I think that sends kills the DM.
Once our country's not in
No,
tatter.
I have plans for every other content that I know of.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Do you have maps? Do you have maps
Gonna
for
be
them?
great.
Do you have
Um,
maps?
I have them saved. I don't have them in the roll 20 just because at the time I didn't have the extra storage. But I do have them saved
See?
Alright.
Conrad's prepared as fuck.
because I was prepared when you guys first were going to use that orb to get the Aquarius out of there.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's do this. Let's send Ashta and Caius off, and the rest of us stay behind on the castle and move it slightly out of range of the pot shots.
Yep, and Zinnia, maybe if you have the spell slots, go try that pool.
Can you just move us here?
The-
Is the warlord still on the castle?
Currently, yes.
Fun
Yeah,
fact,
can I ask him to commission the thing that we talked about? The Thunderbat?
Okay, so you're going to walk up to the warlord and request a
Yes.
magic item.
Yes, or at the very least ask if there's anyone that I can, commission this for.
Brief reminder of a conversation last time. We made it very clear that we are going to be very careful about asking the warlord and his armies for anything,
Yes.
and we
That's why
are
I'm
going to make
commissioning-
absolutely sure that
Not going to be using rank, I'm
What
going to be
John-
using
it was
my own money.
specified. Yeah, John did specify he's not asking for it to be given a magic item. He's going to ask it, who can I talk to get one made? And yes, he plans to pay for it.
okay, yeah,
To
just
commission one. Yes.
want to make sure they're all debts paid.
Yes,
Yeah.
all that's
I
paid.
gave him the same warning when he
That that
messaged
is
me.
paid, yes.
All right.
So, as you all kind of begin moving towards where you need to go to, I assume Ashta and Caius at the forefront walk towards the warlord.
I assume
kinda,
everyone else stays back.
nearby, but I assume within.
We're taking shots.
Yes.
I'm guessing everyone's
Yeah, we're just standing inside too. He's not standing outside. He's not
okay. Then fine.
We put him
letting shots
inside in a
taken at him. So yeah, within audible range, we'll assume.
Yeah.
But he kinda looks you up and down, Caius, and just kind of standing there waiting for you to speak.
Yeah.
Just looking at you.
Hey!
Hello.
Bloody hell.
Do you know anybody that could possibly, I could possibly commission a magic item to be made? I'll pay for it. It's fine.
Real quick, roll an insight check, Caius.
Roll an insight check.
Oh
Yep,
my
fuck
god.
Oh God.
If
You are
Rosalind...
staring at... If you would like to roll it as well, but you keep in
No.
mind you're basically staring at the Mount Rushmore of emotions.
The Mount Rushmore of emotions.
As in made of stone.
24.
Oh. Give me a sec. Fucking. Oh God. Computer's being slow again today. Sorry.
Ash, at the very least, you notice a twitch of the eyebrow at that question. That's about all.
Yep.
But
Ashta goes and puts a hand in front of Caius.
Yep.
Sorry, we can talk about that later. Moreover,
yes, I would rather talk about it here than in front of the generals.
okay,
Yeah.
but just before that, we are ready to go and talk to the generals at your behest. We have at least what we can offer.
Do you have mounts, or shall I bring some for you?
We have mounts as fast as yours.
But do you have ones that can fly?
I have one.
Ones that can carry both of you. Keep a couple shields on hand. Guys, to answer your question.
Yeah.
There are a number within the army who I know. Yes.
Yes.
If you'd like, after the meeting, I can bring you to one of them. In fact, I believe one is one of your soldiers.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
He's not particularly skilled, to my knowledge.
It's fine. I just need a basic item made.
Very well. And, while you are new to this army, I'll not punish you for it. But
Okay.
I will remind you to add a sir when you speak to me.
Yes. Yes, sir.
There we go. Well, anything else, or shall we be off?
No, sir. I think that's all.
Thank you. He kind of snaps his fingers and his horse appears at his side. He swings into the saddle without looking at you guys and just off.
Ashta gives a whistle.
Yes, boss.
We need a ride. Also, you might be shot at. Just keep an eye out.
Ashta,
Yeah.
do you want to borrow my shield?
He gives a look. I mean, I guess.
You're definitely better with it than I am, and if it's, going to be helpful, she just hands it over.
Ashton, what's your AC with that shield?
25.
Good.
Cool.
Fucking hell.
Rosalind satisfied. One of them will survive
as
at
fuck,
least.
alright.
You gotta take it in just like, if that's the case, then all of you stay inside. And also get this thing a bit farther away.
We can assume the castle had been moving in the meantime to get to its new position. That being said,
Ashta,
you guys mount on the horse, and I assume you're ready to go?
Mhm.
Alright, any last comments from the party?
I don't
Alright.
think so.
No.
So, step on. Start.
Well, we lost him.
Let's give me a D100. Lucy.
Alright,
Shit.
something about a D100 for Lucy?
Yeah. I'll roll it, I assume.
Yeah.
Nope.
How about now?
Yes.
Alright. Someone give me a D100 for Lucy.
I'll do it. My horse.
Alright.
24.
24. Alright. So, as you guys fly, Ashta and Caius, your eyes are both good enough, and your ears. Despite the very loud noise of wing beats, the occasional whinny, and just air past you. You hear the sound
Hear the descent, you're
lost him.
dying.
of moving quickly towards you. Distant sound towards you.
You're rough still.
Okay. Okay, so for now, I suppose
Hey, got music now.
Hey. Something coming towards us. I don't know. Asha will switch, also if he has the shield up, Asha's gonna switch, Essence to a hand crossbow.
You both hear the distinct sound of a bow twanging and an arrow coming towards you.
Neat.
Twing, shwish.
Well, fuck. I try to dodge.
Can't you catch it? Aren't you?
You're on a
Are you
flying
not
horse.
that?
I
monk level?
can. I am at that monk level. I just don't know if it's multiple times in one. Give me a
It's
sec.
an arrow, but
Yeah.
once per reaction.
Once per reaction. Okay, yeah, then I'll
does
try and do that.
Ashta know
Edge to flip.
Ashta know well enough to know the exact the exact kind of bow and arrow that's being shot. Does it sound like a very long bow? Int with advantage.
Intelligent. Have fun.
I have a 11. 19.
Ooh. Who did it hit?
I'm assuming Caius, since he's deflecting it.
Yeah.
Conrad never said who it was aimed at. Alright. Caius.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Take 1 damage.
What
Lovely.
does a 19 do for me?
19 does Conrad furiously typing.
Yep. Vaguely longbow, but it's definitely made of material It's definitely made of a material you recognize. Do not. Okay.
Okay.
Very important 2 words there, my dude.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, but my hands are fighting me. I will yelp if your hands hurt. Yeah,
Oh, no.
definitely made of material you do not recognize, but it is a. If he had to guess, it's a similar build to the one he saw Sagittarius wielding. Alrighty. So he's just straight up out here.
He out
Awesome.
here.
Okay.
This is not as soon as you take off, by the way.
Okay, it's just as we're going. After flying for a few minutes.
Alright.
Still.
He decided to take a pot shot, I guess.
From a mile away.
Probably. Caius,
Maybe
there's
closer.
a note. It took some time to do a little bit of calligraphy, I guess.
What a pretentious fuck.
I mean, it's on brand.
I love how I just made up calligraphy and now is just Sagittarius is
It is in
pretentious.
fact on
Absolutely.
brand.
Ashta will pluck the arrow and note out of Caius's hand.
It's just a scratch on the palm. It's not really. It's not. It's. I still sort of caught it.
He's not pulling it out of your hand, you know, as if it was embedded. He's just plucking arrow and note out of your grip, I think.
Probably. Yeah.
Ashta just looks at it and blinks and just like,
Oh.
okay, guy's got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Does he?
Don't fucking insult me.
He's got a sense of humor, but for
Wow.
all that he can aim for a mile, he doesn't seem to have very good vision.
No.
Fucking hell.
He just like looks at it.
He just insulted
it's-
your horse, dude.
He narrows his eyes. Is it magical text or like calligraphy at all?
Is the note read like through fame?
It's terrible handwriting. Almost as if written while on a horse in the middle of the air. Also as if it was written
Just-
by non-humanoid hands that probably didn't learn Common as their first language.
Holy
Also, yes.
Yes.
Ashta.
Ash is just looking at him like he's just like, At least I'm in my environment.
My
Okay.
handwriting looks better than this.
Well, can I see if it's magical? Okie dokie. Because it's written by an elemental, can you get advantage?
No.
Fuck you, no.
Normal it is. 6. He crumbles it up and throws it over his shoulder. He'll keep the arrow, actually. Can you take a look at it as they're going?
Yeah, I just have that arrow. Ow! Fuck!
The note. It's
It's doing that thing where like the air's making it stick to your face.
I wipe it away with my other hand. Just Caius just sort of has like a bit of a sour look on his face, like, ugh.
Probably what now?
flint napped. Arrowhead shaping with flint.
Okay. Is there a K in that?
I believe so, yes.
Not?
Yes.
Yep.
Flint knapped. Okay.
Fuck's sake.
Sleeping.
Fuck you.
The the flint holds a position in royal court and is napping.
Stop.
Test.
Alright, hopefully this will last.
Made a flint.
No, it won't.
I mean, you're right. So, as you guys continue your path of flight, let's have Caius and Ashta roll me one more D100.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
54. Yes.
67.
Roll 100 and we find another dragon.
Yes.
Sagittarius is riding its back. Roll initiative.
Fucking hell.
We adopted anyways.
Fair enough.
Still
So,
have another.
Ashta, as you're flying, one more arrow does come at you. You don't hear it this time. It hits you on the shield and just doesn't do any damage. Similar, but this time the arrowhead breaks off and just shatters into glass.
No, is there no note on it?
Nope, just an arrow.
How does he do the note? Is the note like wrapped around the shaft or is it like through it?
So it's basically inserted, kind of like an extra pair of flight feathers, but halfway down the shaft.
Okay.
Obviously, basically, part of the arrow is the note.
Is the paper cut specifically to be able to do this?
It's actually not paper.
What is it?
Great question.
Great question.
Some kind of fireproof material.
Wow.
It might be vellum. You're not quite sure, but it's not quite as soft.
It would have to be fireproof.
Pyropapyrus.
Pyrus?
Fuck off.
I haven't tried it. Alright. So, Caius, as you kind of hold on to Ashta for dear life, because the second seat is not the seat you would want to be on a flying horse.
No, I'd imagine not.
You do catch a distant glint of another flying creature with something very bright on its back, but quickly it goes out of sight.
Hey, Ashta, I think I saw something.
What did you see?
It was very bright, but now it's gone, and that's concerning.
And as he points in the direction, it is the opposite direction that the arrow that Sagittarius had came in.
He gives a glance like description more than it's shiny.
Listen, man, I just caught a glimpse of it.
Send me your fucking fame, jackass.
Okay, I send him my feign of the thing, of the encounter.
But for once, he actually described it pretty well. It's kind of just a glint of possibly something shining off metal for a second.
Can Ash figure out what it is?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Can his feign zoom and enhance on that?
That's why you get to make the check.
All right.
Feign
Can he use a feign point to
Sure.
get advantage on it?
Sure.
Use some of the new ones. Perception. 24.
As you try to get closer, it's definitely a wider creature beneath a much skinnier creature. That's about as much as you can make out.
Wider creature beneath a... Okay, so something maybe mounted.
Potentially, or it just has really big hips. One of the two.
Or a centaur.
Or something.
Flying?
It was in the air, yes.
No, it's
Did
swimming
they-
in the clouds.
Did they yeet a centaur?
It's swimming. No.
I don't know. What do you call
Oh,
like a Pegasus centaur?
I think exactly that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Centaur? No, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Mega Centaur, the
Mega
Natalie
Centaur.
portmanteau of the two.
Alright, so, with that, that's as much important stuff that goes on as you guys fly through the clouds.
just as a side note, also when they're probably coming back, Ash is gonna keep an eye out for that, whatever that broad image he saw was with the glint.
Alright, sounds good. But you land down in a almost perfectly replicated camp to the ones you guys first went to Pinell. Just larger and much more popular.
Whoa.
Caius, I'm going to assume you put your little symbol on your chest as you came in.
Yes!
Alright. So, they don't immediately shoot you on sight in that case.
Lovely.
You get briefly pointed towards the tent, where you can almost smell the magical energy coming off of it.
Uh-huh.
If you choose to approach, you can do so. Ashta, as you go to step in, you're first stopped, and
Ash
two
points
guards.
to Caius.
They nod to Caius, but they kind of look at each other, and these two seem vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the ones who cut off your hand last time.
Oh!
One of them in horrible common, a bugbear, kind of just grumbles, says, "Symbol to go."
What?
Ash is just.
I don't say that out loud, but I say what? But but out of character.
Fane exists, dude.
Yes.
Ash just looks and with him ask the warlord.
Roll a persuasion check.
All right.
Yeah. I'll vouch for him that he's with me.
Is that an advantage? If Caius is helping me out on this,
Sure.
12.
Kind of
Yikes.
just looks at you and says, "Passage or payment.
So
Passage or payment." He gestures towards his hand.
passage or payment. Can Ash show like insight to figure out exactly what he means?
Yeah, he gestures towards his hand as he says this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But
is
if you'd
it
like,
we're doing
but
it?
if you'd like, you can insight.
All right. Yeah. Oh, fucking.
Fuck.
You can still reasonably assume it's a hand.
But he said passage or payment.
Yes.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Was payment what we were like, kind of like vaguely broken comment at before when we got our hands cut off, or?
Last time you had someone who spoke better common with you to explain the process, and you were warned beforehand. In this case, it's reasonable to assume. Again, this was the guy who cut off your hand last time.
Yep. Yeah, but there's seemingly a question of one option or.
Yes. It's reasonable enough to assume that passage means having that symbol that Caius has.
Okay. He lets out a sigh. I think for a sec. I'm trying to think if there's any way around this, just so he doesn't get another fucking piece of copper in him.
You were told that last time that the copper was for complete outsiders.
For complete outsiders.
Yes.
He tilts his head and it's like, I've done payment before.
I know.
Do I need to again?
Yes. No marking, but payment.
Yeah, fine, whatever. And he puts out the hand.
Which
Left
one?
hand.
Alright. He takes the great sword from bow 4 and just clean slice right through the wristbone. It lands on the ground. As is with before, you can vaguely feel it able to be moved if you so desire. They give you a metal cuff to put over the end and put another end over the hand. He picks it up and puts it in his pocket. Retrieve when leave.
The hand in the pocket flips him off, and he walks.
Is it a hand in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Alright.
Stop.
Mm,
Yep.
Goodness.
He steps by and waves you two in.
okay.
As you enter the chamber, it's you two have seen some scary shit before. This room, there are so many weapons in here, and the hum of magical energy and the rough goblinoid, or the rough goblin that's being spoken between each person, is deeply unsettling. You couldn't even count the scars if you had hours. At the head of the table, you can see sitting very quietly the warlord. And as well, someone who looks almost exactly the same as the warlord, sitting by his right hand. Similar gear, similar in face structure, just a bit younger maybe. And to the left hand, you see a gnarled old goblin that you've seen before. And just on either side of the table, there are 3 hobgoblins, but on the left side there's actually 1 bugbear present. All in different armaments and armor. One, probably a scout. The bugbear looks some kind of scout as well. There's mages, clerics, everything. And they all turn to you as you step inside. Everyone but the warlord and the 2 by his side stand up and give you a nod. Guys.
Yeah.
Once you kind of acknowledge their greeting, they sit back down and
Sir?
I see we're talking to the warlord.
Yes, I just nod my head, sir.
He
Ashta does
gives you a
afterwards.
quiet nod. Gives you a quiet nod as well. Ashta looks at the stump. Kind of. Roll another insight check. See what kind of glance he gives you.
10.
Scary one.
Mm.
Alright. But there are
He
2.
gives like a light wave of the as he looks over,
Yep.
and like one of the what's his name from The Office, just like the
Yeah.
face.
The slightest crack of a smile you see on the right hand of the warlord appears. And
The
there are
guy
2
to the
seats-
right.
The guy to the right, yes. His right, not yours, but yes. At the end of at the table, there are 2 seats, presumably for you. They're the only empty seats in the room. And in front of each seat, there's actually a small meal of some kind of looks like nuts and berries primarily.
I shall like give a nod to Caius and feign over, sit in the seat, dumbass.
Yeah.
So, as you sit down, Caius,
On that note, yes, Asha will send a message over on Fane to Rosalind. It's like, should have fucking cast. If you want to put yourself in getting delayed translation going just in case.
Yep, Rosalind will cast tongues on herself and just feign back. I'm ready. Tell me whenever you need something.
alright. As you begin using your feign, the bugbear gives you guys a strange glance, and then kind of just looks back to the conversation that's being had in Goblinoid.
The warlord, or
Nope, just a bugbear. The one non-hobgoblin in the room.
Asha gives a glance back.
He's stopped paying attention. He's continuing the conversation he was having.
Okay. I
Um,
assumed when he took a glance, but okay.
Yeah, it was very brief. You just saw like a flick of the eyes in the back what he was doing. As the warlord raises his hand, though, the table goes silent. He says, "Alright, save your bickering for later. You two. Any new information? Or anything you think we should be informed of?"
we have ways to get new information. We have a potential contact over in the Genasi Desert. We have someone who can potentially scry on Sagittarius or any of his specified men, although I feel probably the main leader is the main. And as well, we have other individuals who might be able to give us some lighter but rounding information. So
You see him actually conjure up an image of an iron stallion, actually, one that you might have seen very briefly, or envisioned in an explanation, as the warlord casts minor illusion to show it to you.
Ash just saw Sagittarius, and what he was riding.
It was not an iron stallion.
Alright. Oh no, Sagittarius is not a nightmare. Never mind.
Correct. He says, this is the mount, specifically this one, of the only person we've been able to scry on in his inner circle. All the humanoids, or elementals, seem to have some kind of protection. This mount, though, is the only thing unprotected, and we can see vaguely what's around it. If you have some way of showing this to your diviner, that'll be your best asset.
Asha sends that image over to Zinnia, and that quick little, 5-second.
Yep.
This sends a vine of the last pit.
And it's blown up to 5-foot size, because minor illusion can do that. So
Yep.
it's pretty well detailed. And he,
You got a name for it, sir?
not specifically, it just seems to be a construct of some kind. It's specifically the one owned by someone near Sagittarius, physically.
You guys
That's that, I'm not sure.
And I'm assuming you have a general description on Sagittarius.
Yes, Salamander, much better armored than most of them. Carries a fancier longbow, but otherwise is near indistinguishable from the rest. Seems like he was, from what we can tell, raised in the ranks of the people he currently resides over.
You know he rides a nightmare, yes, sir?
I do. Though it's possible he owns more than one, as at least from what my expert on fiends tells me, and he nods towards the goblin to his left side. They seem to have different markings, but whether that's a way to make us nervous or not, that's unsure.
Does your expert have a general idea of how tough nightmares are? I've never fought one person.
It's a fiend, but definitely not the strongest. They're more free than most fiends are in terms of organization. Stronger than a normal horse, but not stronger than a relatively strong man.
He nods. And the overall plan thus far, given what you and your men have for dealing with Sagittarius and his armies, right?
At the moment,
How concrete is that, sir?
At the moment, it's hold and resist, and as far as we know, it's all we can do. We've made a brief deal with some of the Genasi Desert to keep them from circling from behind our ranks, keep them to the west. As for right now, we're trying to secure a better source of food for all the outposts we have. And negotiations are impending, but we'll soon be complete. At the moment, we're just trying not to starve.
One of our associates is a previous matron and still holds significant weight in the Genasi tribes. So if there's anything there for either potential information gleaned from their point of view or help in this fight, we could smooth that process. Moreover, how important is Sagittarius himself compared to his armies, at least in planning and dealing with him?
Most of the people in this room probably could, except for perhaps you folk.
Sorry, say that again?
perhaps most of the people in this room could, except maybe you folk.
Could
Think
what?
you
His.
misheard.
Oh, sorry. I think I lagged briefly there. On a man-to-man basis, most of the people in this room could take him out one-to-one.
That's just not asking how tough he is. He's asking
He's
what their priority is.
yeah, he's not done speaking.
All right.
That being said, from what I can tell, he is the one who makes the plans. He's the one who organizes. He is the rallying point in which the army functions.
A keystone worthy of being toppled.
Very much so. The further he is from any point of his army, the more disorganized it gets, the easier we're able to take them out. In fact, only when he's very far from them are we able to make any headway. But he can move so quickly, it's difficult to get a good holding position.
There's a small grin that goes over Ash's face. What if I told you we only need to get within 10 feet?
And I would wish you luck surviving that long.
And what if I told...
He has yet to get within, as far as I can tell, 300 feet of our front lines.
But what if I told you once we got into the 10 feet, we could bring him to any location or plane we need?
Well, I'd want to see it first. But,
Fortunately, such a feat can only be achieved about once a week.
well, I only wanted to be seen on Sagittarius. And if you can give me some image of the look on his face once it does happen, that'd be appreciated.
Hmm.
That being said, if you can do that, get him far away from his army, long enough that we can properly fight back, I think we'd be better off.
And from what you've seen of me and my group, at least the last time we visited here, although keeping in mind we've improved over that time, do you think we have what it would take to deal with him? Should we whisk him away and deal with him one against our group of 5?
Genuinely, I don't think him alone is much of a threat at all. I know other more basic elementals that aren't nearly as strong, or aren't nearly as weak as he is.
Well then.
Where do his left and right hands stand in relation?
We're not sure. Again, he keeps far back, out of sight of most of what we can do. What brief we know is we can recognize them by the armor on their legs that they wear. As that's as far as the outreach of the scry when we're scrying on the mountain can see. They each wear these skirts, Sagittarius wearing the longest and best armor to protect the tails they have. The one who rides the mount we can scry on seems to have a forked tail, which is unusual for a salamander. And the last one is seemingly a normal salamander with lighter armor. Past that, we're not sure.
Obviously, he's nearby.
At times.
Asher kind of like turns the arrow he got off him in his hand. We got some shots, and I'm pretty sure it could have only been him.
Likely, but I'm not going to speak with any certainty. As
We got another note, but maybe they have a running theme.
that's the concern. From what we can tell, Sagittarius does not speak common.
He kind of like tilts his head. The handwriting was pretty bad, but point.
It's possible that I wouldn't even be surprised. Someone else writes a note. But we don't want to make any assumptions here.
Well, there needs to be at least one.
And that would be.
That whatever plan we choose on is the best one we have.
While we regroup, what's your plan? I assume you don't plan to assist in the trading talks.
Like I said, we have a contact in the Janai. If we can send away through her that any deals or trades might be worth it in the long run, we'll do the best we can. But Well, Caius here isn't exactly the greatest in political discussions, and I'm here for the war room support, sir.
If you can make deals with the Genasi, it'd be much appreciated. They tolerate us at best. The only reason they've worked with us right now is because if Sagittarius defeats us, he either marches north or he raises the desert. And no one's quite sure which he'll do. So long as he's focused on us, it seems most people otherwise are safe. But, as I'm sure you've been told before, but I'll remind you, we are the largest fighting force in this country, and the strongest. If we fall, there will be very little left to fight the large armies of the elementals.
He's slow. Can I... Caius is a recent recruit, and I'm not formally affiliated with your armies. Can I get a general idea of the men around this table and what their abilities are? Sir?
The 6 near you are my section commanders, we call them. He points first towards the bugbear. We have one who's master of scouts, keeping tabs on the places we settle very, very often. We have one who keeps charge of the home base, and the other 4 protect the north, south, east, and west of Pinel, wherever it lay. As for the 2 sitting next to me, they are my seconds in command. As well, I assume you know who I am.
He nods.
As the moment, our defender of the west and the south are the key players here, and he gestures towards the 2 hobgoblins on the same side as the bugbear, on the left of you guys. They're the most hard-pressed. Most of their army is what is holding the strong points we have. Those from the north are keeping the northern edges, where our outposts no longer go, and making sure they don't enter Peduncle, or the ruins thereof. Those in the east are making sure we don't get attacked from behind. The outreach squad is what's doing most of the scouting, but their success is not very complete at the moment. There's a very poorly hidden, furious glance towards the bugbear. And those protecting the home front are making sure we're getting food out to the outreach. We developed a better system for bringing food out, despite the fact we're being peppered from arrows wherever we move. During nighttime we're safest, and we simply soak wood in water, cover up the caravans, cover up the guards, to hope they don't get ambushed despite the lack of sight. As for the issue we hope that the Genasi can help us with, the western half of the Plains of Wrath are on fire, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop. If they can sense enough water in Genasi, or anyone with water abilities, to keep that from spreading, that would be our biggest benefit. We can't venture forward when we're walking through flames.
Ashta knows that fire ones can, like, douse flames too, right?
Sort of, they can. They
Control flames
Once
can,
they are
but
of a
lets you
certain-
turn it out.
Once they have a certain level of skill and age, they can. But it is not every Genasi can do it.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Just,
Yeah, but it's pretty common they can. But in general, he's looking at water Genasi. It seems like.
and Nash will just bring up, don't miscount the fires. More experience can bend flame to their will and turn it out if they must.
You'll have to forgive me if I don't particularly trust Fire Genasi at the moment.
Well, fuck you.
We have
Ooh.
quite a pyroclasmic army on our side here. It would be very easy for a number of Fire Genasi from the Plane of Fire to simply pretend they were from the Genasi Desert. And without other Genasi to confirm or deny this, we have no way of knowing. So until we can get those squads here, I'd rather keep the fire genasi around us to a minimum. Of course, your allies are separate from that equation, but going into our camps and going to our food supplies that the soldiers need, I'd rather keep them away from it.
Fair enough, then.
So, what can you offer us? Contacts and information, yes?
So far. And a potential... I could, if needed. I believe I could get in a higher altitude, most any here. For particular scouting or anything like that. Any location that might be too difficult to come at from any of the sides, even including airborne. I could get... F character was set like a mile up, right? Was the airline?
Please hold while I check that again.
Yep.
I'm fucking loving this.
How many feet a mile again, Ariel?
I don't know. Are you kidding me? It's a
Roughly?
Oh,
weird number.
5,280.
Really? What? Okay.
Yeah, I told you it's a really weird number. It is not
Yeah, it
something
is.
you can memorize.
It's fucked.
You can get to roughly 7,000 feet before you start running out of air.
Alright.
So,
And-
mile and a third.
Yep. And the altitude bandana. What is the lungs can't work altitude?
Much higher.
Much higher or not much?
Much higher.
Alright. So, and you said 700 feet?
7,000 feet.
7,000. Oh, right, that makes much more sense. Yep, the Astros. I can reach past 7,000 feet on my own.
It's an impressive horse you have.
It wouldn't be the horse. It'd just be me.
Even more impressive. That actually brings up an interesting point. Are any of your contacts capable of flight in the long term? Any Arakakra or similar?
He pauses and thinks. Does he know if anyone has flight spell?
Rosalind has the flight spell. It's only 10 minutes, so probably not long term.
I have someone who knows a spell to fly, but it's only about 10 minutes.
Alright. If you need more members who can cast that, I do have a few on hand. I believe a couple in your armor, Caius. I know you aren't particularly allied with us. You are working with us out of necessity, which is understood. But Caius' soldiers, will they not be allowed on your island as needed?
Ashta, what do you think?
Out of character was that question? Sorry.
Yes, he was asking if you would basically allow at some point
I
Caius'
over to
soldiers.
Ashta, like, what do you think?
We can return to you with that answer once information has been gathered and contacts have been contacted.
Very well. And I ask you again, how much time do you need?
For
To come back to
Conversations.
us for a plan.
conversations with contacts and potential scrying with what you've given us so far. We could get it done by the we need the night.
Not necessarily by the morning. Zinnia has to have the morning to try the scry,
Yep.
but
By the end of the morning.
And would this be you rushing to get information, or would this be the ideal amount of time?
I don't think there's no rushing that can happen, but for the essentials right now, we wouldn't be cutting corners, but we wouldn't be putting in extra effort.
If I give you 3 days to come back to me with something directly useful, can that be done?
Ashta stops and thinks for a second, feigns to the whole group that question. And also, he'll just give like a brief summation of everything that's gone down thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 3 days is better than 1.
Much better.
Yeah, much better. Could give us more chances at scrying.
Yep. And more chances to dream spell if the first one fails.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of nods and goes, 3 days would be ideal. Would that be a toll on your end? And if so, how much?
It is as much as I'm willing to risk for good and very useful information before I start moving. At least until we start discussing my next movement.
Are we in the trust to know what your next movement would be?
When we know, we'll tell you. As I said right now, our biggest concern is holding long enough to get food to us. Making supply routes. Making deals with traders. Making sure our treasury can handle it, as our people negotiating with are very aware of our peril.
Ashta tilts his head. Do you know how the opposing armies are getting food and water, other resources?
We can assume, but again, I'd rather not. For now, we can assume that enough was brought here that have been in this plane for particularly long. But
How long exactly?
coming from no more than a week. It took us a while to mobilize. Well, that I would have liked. You see him glance towards the two hobgoblins near the bugbear. That being said,
Those are the east and west ones, or?
the east and south. Sorry, the west and south.
Okay.
Fucking east and west, I can never get those right.
West.
West. No, south. Cest. No. As for replenishing of supplies, they're from a plain more barren than even the desert. I'm sure they have ways.
3 days it is then.
We'll be expected at Pinel at the noon hour of the third day.
I'll be in the same location.
If not, I imagine you have magical means to speak with one of us.
Potentially, yes.
Message myself, I'll tell you where it is. Most likely will be a bit to the southeast of here, but that depends how the fighting goes.
One last thing, and I mean this in no form of disrespect in any ways. It seems Sagittarius has a chip on his shoulder for you specifically, sir.
Yes, as has so far, I'm the only person to strike back with an arrow.
Did you land such a shot?
I did. I broke the bow he was holding.
Huh. Can he hurt you?
Anyone ignore me if the timing is right.
Ashta thinks on this and Ashta like has the Fane write that down and stick it on a sticky note in his brain.
Ashta will remember this.
Oh,
Note to
Yep.
self.
Because we're probably what? So yeah, he nods and goes, "How did you get the shot then?"
With my magic and a bow and arrow. Mundane, not even magical. I imagine that's why he's angry.
With a spell?
A very basic one. There's more to show him that he's not as invulnerable as he seems to think he is.
Can Ashta figure out what that spell is?
Sure. Go ahead and roll
Assuming
that.
it's used in range spells. Can you get any sort of bonus or lower DC because Ranger?
It's possible for you to make this DC because of that.
Alright, another fine point for advantage.
Sure.
Event, Iago, Arc Arcana.
You can make a history if you'd rather. Alright, Arcana works.
Natural 20.
Yeet!
That was the DC, 20. Natural or not. You would know that that air glimmer has a that is all
Okay, you're lagging.
but they not shit. In that case, one moment.
I know that a glimmer.
Test.
Yes.
I know that a glimmer.
That every glimmer has two tomes. One is their spellbook, and one is passed down from the previous glimmer of their type.
Hmm.
A lot of them are spells and abilities that aren't necessarily spells you'd find in any handbook that we have. An all spell. At least it's very likely. That being said, it is each specialized to that glimmer's person spell. The ones
Oh, you're lagging again.
to add. Test.
Yeah, it's just you're.
Each of these.
We can vaguely hear you. It's just the details get completely lost.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. No, it's important to have the details for this one.
So, it's passed down. What the spell is probably one of those spells.
Yeah, and it's very reasonable to assume that this specific glimmer has a lot of war and combat related spells, specifically to make any weapon stronger.
All right.
Well. Fuck.
It's possible that's how he maintains his invulnerable appearance. It's possible that's how he. Some of the rumors that he can pick up a weapon and kill anyone with it.
Okay. Have you watched any of the Fate Stay Night series or anything?
I have not.
Just wondering. Okay. Anyways, yeah. I shall just think about a specialized spell then.
Something of the sort.
I'll see if I can't pull off such a feat, same as you. But until then, thank you for your time and deliberation and being allies in this endeavor. Be tappity.
Sorry.
Alright. He kind of nods and says, very well. 3 days. Bring back something I can use swiftly at the end of the days.
We'll do everything we can. Real quick, can I actually ping for Fane?
You can ping for Ix, not for Fane.
I thought we were pinging for Fane in the left.
I guess let me correct myself. You can ping for Ix accurately.
Can I ping for Fane if they're... Basically, can I ping, like, is there any Fane other than mine or Caius within, like, 100-foot range?
I believe you can do 30, but you can still make the ping if you'd like. Just roll a perception check.
Okie dokie. I've got plenty of that. 25.
Alright. You don't detect any other Fane other than Caius.
Is that ping, like, lined up with X2, such that if there was X anywhere, he would...
Ix you can
Just
automatically
let it on.
detect within that.
Alright.
Like, if there was an Ix not in stasis, you would know automatically.
Okay. Can I real quick ask his Fane, like, can you tell anything about that bugbear that glanced at us?
Bugbears are typically, very lazy. If this one isn't, I wouldn't be surprised if it can use its speciality to great knowledge. And they did mention it was a scout one. Maybe they're just very observant.
Picked up on me pausing and thinking.
potentially.
And alright, with that, Ash will get up, give a bow again.
As you stand up, the other six stand up once more. Before you leave, and he
Pings-
turns to the
pings
six.
Pings over faint guys, stand up, dumbass. Give a bow.
Yeah, as the other six stand up with you, he looks at him and says, "Any notes for our new arrivals?" He kind of looks to each of them in turn. And the one to his left hand, the goblin, just kind of points to you, Ashta, and says something in goblinoid, which you can send to Rosalind to have translated.
Yep, translation sent.
Yep.
Beep, beep.
And it basically translates to "Good luck, you clerical maggot."
Okay.
You're not sure if that's an insult or not,
Mm.
but it's what it said.
Yeah, that's the translator's footnote underneath that Rosalind sends back.
Yikes.
Can Ash a real quick message a thing to Rosalind, just for a quick translation and pronunciation?
Sure.
It doesn't work that way. With tongues, she can hear anything she hears in her own language and just understands, and anything she says is understood. She can't give him a translation per se. I'm sorry, that's
Just nod them.
Yeah. This was determined previously that, yeah, that's how that works.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, your description is correct. Yeah, we mentioned
okay.
it before.
Okay, I thought you were going the other direction, going, wait, what?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that's pretty much what he gets back. Great big, I don't know.
Ash looks to the warlord, and goes, "If you can translate over, it's angelic, not cleric. It'd be appreciated, sir."
He kind of grins, and you see the goblin actually grin too. And says, the goblin actually says, "All right, Clipped Angel." This big toothy grin is mouth not full of teeth. In fact, relatively empty of teeth. Smiles to you.
Sure thing, green one.
One of the green hobgoblins gives you a mild look of offense.
Green 1 and green 2. No, we're not actually doing that.
And Ash will nod and go out, and like motion out for ask for guys to go.
You get one more nod as everyone at the table sits back down. As you step outside, the bugbear who has your hand and is currently playing patty cake with it, basically, kind of just looks at you and says, "Still alive?"
Watch the merchandise, buddy.
Reattach.
Do you need to do the copper thing, or?
No, but come.
And he takes off the thing and puts it out.
And you see him basically put the hand back, basically press the seams of the skin back together, and just run his finger along the edges and it reattaches. Nods to you and says, "Your horse has eaten much and pooped many."
What do I say?
Yes, boss?
What'd you do?
Oh dear.
I ate a bad chestnut.
This gives Ashta a look like, what the fuck?
He
I
ate
ate-
what?
He ate a bad chestnut.
Just one!
Ashton tilts his head. Just one?
Yes, I think.
Just one chestnut?
I think.
Lucy had to be kicked out of the encampment because he ate Dave. Oh god.
Ashton like turns back to the bugbear and it's like, "Do I owe you anything for that?"
No. But,
Your fucking life.
it's gross.
Oh god.
Oh, I
So
feel
you're
so
telling
bad.
me. So like Caius will faint Ashta. So you're telling me your horse ate a bad chestnut and shit all over the place that we're supposed to be defending.
And you see the bugbear, he like points towards like a small pile of very on fire poops. There's
Oh, no.
there's a
Oh my
goblin with a
God,
bucket of water, just like slowly pouring it and watching it sizzle.
Boys, it is time to
Holy
fucking leave.
gods, you're
It's time to
holy
leave.
gods, you're yeah, it's
Hang
like Caius is like,
Does
holy
the
gods,
goblin
your
look
poop is on
entertained?
fire, your horse's poop is on fire,
Does-
we need to get out of here.
Does the goblin look entertained by his current
The goblin
status?
looks deeply entertained.
Okay,
We
good.
need to
If
leave.
there's a win, guys, just
Oh.
take it and leave.
Just take the W, let's go.
Baseball.
Alright, there we go.
Ashta walks over and goes, Lucy, you can make words, just ask if they have a whole dugout anywhere next time.
I couldn't control it.
Then don't go eating random things.
I'm hungry.
You can ask me that earlier when we're not at someone else's place. He hops on.
There were arrows.
Before that, we were inside. Whatever. He just like reaches into his pocket, and switches. Well, reaches like to the side and puts Essence back to a hand crossbow again and off the back of the shield.
She reappears and kind of says. She kind of like whispers very quiet in your ear so no one else can hear. It's like, one day can we eat the warlord?
Ashta doesn't say anything until they're in the air.
Sure. You get in the air. What do you say?
He goes, I mean, we could certainly.
He'd be tasty.
You're creepy when you're hungry.
So is your horse.
I would not classify that as creepy.
I suppose.
Also, just real quick, like, is Essence in her standard attire again, or is she in the, like,
She's a
different
normal
thing?
form.
She's
Hey,
fucking naked again.
yeah, he goes, so you're back to the standard.
Oh, you playing again?
I'm not complaining, just making an observation.
Well, next time you
Kind of-
observe something whose soul is edible, I could use a snack.
He kind of nods, like, I meant to catch again, but they...
Yeah, that's alright. Next dragon you see. Other than the cute one.
I was gonna say, and he, like, puts the crossbow back on his back.
Yep. Yeah, no, Caius,
Uh,
there is full-on essence in your face. The whole time.
Oh wow,
Oh,
okay.
her ghost hair is in your face, and you're like...
It's a very uncomfortable feeling, actually. Because it's not like hair in your face. It's just like whenever it touches your face and the inside of your face, because it goes through you, it just tickles there.
Oh god.
He's sneezing the whole way.
Yeah, you're pretty sure at one point you feel her hair tickle the back of your brain.
Oh god, that's awful. Ashta, that's awful. I hate that. I hate that.
At one point, Lucy just says, "She tickles my rump."
Oh god.
And with that, Essence goes away.
Yep. And without that quick 5-minute break.
Oh god.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Jesus Christ. Like how Caius is holding the rank, but he didn't say a single fucking thing the whole time.
Caius is not a good strategist or a good talker.
I
in these
know,
situations.
and like everyone in the room knew it.
I'm just deferring it to this guy, my personal strategist, I guess. Though he'd never in his life say that out loud. Like, no. No.
It's just like they both walk in and they're like, oh that. It's like one guy's bright purple, but holding the rank, and the other's like fucking armored to the nines with a crossbow over his back. It's like, okay, we clearly know who's the +1, but we clearly know who's leading the show.
Yes. It's just Caius is more is Caius's like adeptitude at talk is more like, you know, like the trash talk wrestling talk. This isn't exactly his realm. He got this rank by accident. It was a fluke that he managed to get rank in this fucking situation.
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, the fact that Caius has rank was a fucking complete fluke.
You're not wrong. I wasn't expecting any of you to actually get it.
Wow. What the fuck?
I was just like on the way thinking like, if I just like knock Caius out in front of a crowd of goblinoids, can he just like take the rank?
Maybe.
Good question. You want to roll a history check?
Fuck it.
Alright. Everyone's back, right?
I got nothing to lose. 15.
Yep.
Sky, are you there?
Ye.
Alright, good. I mean, you know that, like, the stereotype of goblinoids, that would probably make sense.
Many things is like, no, I don't want that shit fucking hooked on me.
Okay.
So.
How long overall did it take them to fly down, do the meeting, fly back? An hour?
Roughly that, yeah.
Okay. So tongues lasts until the whole thing. I was just making sure one casting.
Yep, you're good.
I guess.
Real quick, Caius and Ashta, give me 2 D100s each.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
1446.
And Caius?
Okay. What kind of check are we making again? Sorry.
2D100.
2D100. Give me a sec. It's loading.
You can just type it in the chat.
Let's just roll 20, that always takes forever to load.
I thought it was a sheet.
It's going between the two. You can have one loaded but not the other.
65 and 81. That is a nice,
Nice.
little progression of numbers from low
Yeah,
to
actually.
high.
Even spread. Like peanut butter on toast.
Like, yeah, it's just like 14, 45, 65, 46, 65, 81. It's real nice. It's
The only way
real.
that could have been better is if it was 68. That way it's 1, 4, 4, 6, 6, 5, 6, 8, 8, 1.
Oh, that would have been nice.
It would have. Regardless. Ashta.
And how hard it is. Yes.
I'm just gonna...
Fucking what's the deck save or...
You want to do a deck save on the back of a horse?
I don't know. Are you gonna make me do one?
Where if you fall off, the horse's wings go away?
No,
Um,
it's not.
That's not.
He's seeing
Alright,
if he hits.
Yeah. Your armor class is 25, so you get
Yeah.
another, like, arrow off the top of the helmet where it just glances off.
Doesn't really wear a helmet.
This
but
one you
okay.
couldn't hear the bow, actually.
Mm.
You get another one just sails between you and Caius, like the space between you two.
How long is the ride?
These are all separated by... It's separated by about 2 or 3 minutes between each shot.
Alright.
I'm still good and audible, right?
Yep.
Alright.
For now.
Yeah. Caius, for most of it, you go unassaulted, actually. By the end, at the you have to swerve Lucy, start chasing after an eagle. And Caius, the eagle, like, smacks into you, and it's just gonna basically try to get out of your chest, effectively. So roll whatever you want to try to.
Real quick, can Ashta
Well,
tell the bird to calm down?
This is happening very swiftly.
Yeah, he doesn't need to cast anything. Where is it?
wait, is the bird? Did a bird fly into his shirt?
Caius.
No, but it's like when. Wow, words are hard. Sorry. It's like how you catch a football, where it's kind of just like in that cradle in your chest.
What the fuck?
Strength.
Natural one.
All right, so you go to shove the bird away, and you accidentally shove it into one of Lucy's wings. And there's a very brief second where your thighs clench as basically Lucy does a barrel roll. But he writes back up, the bird is gone, and you keep going. Somehow that was more
Oh,
dangerous
God.
than the Zodiac.
I was just gonna shout after the bird. Sorry.
I understand.
Innate
Yeah,
ability.
It communicates the idea of fuck you, roadkill.
Ashta, like, hand slowly goes to essence, and, like, the other hand puts it down.
The moment that your finger, like, briefly, like, touches her, she's just like, yes, 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 yes. Roll a quick insight check, actually, from Ashta.
On the bird or on essence? 14.
Oh.
Essence has been very hungry, very consistently lately.
Is this becoming like a Craven Edge situation where eventually this is gonna fuck us over entirely?
That's a very good question.
Wouldn't be surprised.
As you guys get to the castle and land relatively unabated, kind of get off, and you notice that Lucy has like an arrow in his thigh, like his back leg.
Oh fuck!
Well, as you walked over, I was like, you good?
Oh, thought it was bird.
Do you want me to get it out for you?
Will it hurt?
A little bit, but I'll close it up right away.
Please.
Alright. Can you just put a hand on it and give it a yank?
Ooh, huh,
Just give medicine to see how painfully you do this.
that's no. Fuck!
19.
The head's not barbed or anything. It's like a rounded oval with a tip, so it's easy enough to pull out without damaging anything. At one point, you see a small sliver of glass, like the obsidian, left in there. Pull it out with your fingernails, and it's not a problem.
Yep, and then he just slaps it.
Yep. Smack the horse in the rump. It kind of kicks its back feet and kicks. Unfortunately, the moment your hand touches it, it grows like 2 feet taller, so it's very unbalanced as it tries to do so.
Oh no.
And then he settles back and like shivers basically, and everyone goes inside. And Lucy steps out of your sight for a second and is gone.
I shall return to the group and
So,
give a wave and give a brief overview for anything that wasn't kind of spark notes to Overfane.
Yeah.
Outside of Ashta and Caius, who has highest passive? It's Zinnia?
Zinnia 18.
You
Ashta's
notice that
up.
there's like a slight seam over the wrist of Ashta. It's nothing concerning, it's just you can see where it was separated.
Zinnia's just gonna like step back, make the motion of a hand falling off, and just eyebrows up.
Neek is as strong as like no copper in it this time.
That's good. Gonna have to deal with that in a month.
Oh, yeah, and also that's also an indicator that their magic is much more powerful than when we last found them, since they don't need to rely on the copper.
Or they
I think the
did.
copper was a mess.
Yeah, probably.
The copper was for unfamiliar people.
Okay.
Got it.
yeah. It was a choice, not a limitation.
Okay.
Probably held the bone set a bit better, but I mean,
Honestly, to be blunt, it was a much cleaner cut this time as well. Last time it went through bone, this time it was the gap between bone and the wrist, which did also help.
I don't like that imagery.
Okay, enough of that.
he like opens and
That's not
closes it,
very
and it's like
satisfying.
he looks at it and he's like, it's not the first time I've been missing body parts.
Oh, God.
On that
You
note,
got the joint actually nice, right?
I
is,
don't like this.
is anybody opposed to us moving the Skyland closer to Anther for the
Is that what
duration?
we're calling it now?
I
That's
want
what
to
I'm
call it
calling
the
it.
Skyland.
I should proceed to ask, is that what we're calling it now?
I have
Yeah,
no
Skyland.
idea.
What do we
Listen,
call this thing?
for lack of any better term, and I will welcome any better term. But in short, for now, is anybody opposed to the idea of moving this place closer to Anther for the 3 days?
Probably a good
Possibly,
idea.
Probably a good idea.
All right. Esther, could you please sending to my father and let him know we're on our way. We'll be there in probably an hour or so.
I think you meant to ask that to Zinnia.
Did I say... Who did I say? Esther?
You said Esther.
I said
My
Esther.
bad, I did mean Zinnia.
Esther
Maybe
don't know
Rosalind.
shit.
Rosalind can do the slip up too. It's a thing everybody does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant Zinnia. I'm sorry, I was
infecting you
looking at
folk.
you. I was looking at you and thinking of them. Zinnia, could you?
Gotcha. Zinnia's gonna send in the Duke.
Yep.
We're coming for a quick visit. Landing the castle. Putting the castle nearby. See you soon. Rosalind loves you. Okay.
Maybe that side, just so it's a bit more away from the whole ordeal. There you go.
I don't think it can land either. That's why I messed
The
it up.
castle
'cause
is
I-
land. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry, that was such a collective, just like... Anyways. Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't take
like-
long. It takes like
Yeah.
30 minutes to get there. It's not very long.
How fast can the castle go? 90 miles an hour and 150
Yeah.
kilometers? Is that the thing? Okay.
And it's only like 20 kilometers or 20 miles away. So
Fun.
you head that way. If you guys really need to discuss anything in the 20 minutes before that, please do. But if not,
Does everybody want to come down to Anther for a little while, or is this going to be a smaller group?
I think it'd be nice to
I
have my
think,
feet on
yeah.
the ground.
I think
Yeah.
A little bit.
again.
Then we might have to ask Rosé to employ that... What do we call that stone? Just the stone?
it's generally called a flying tablet.
A flying tablet.
Flying tablet, okay.
Doesn't seem catchy. The lifting stone, the lift? We could use the lift.
The
I think
lift!
we could use the lift, yes.
Let's take the lift!
We're literally taking. Oh god. Okay.
Dwarves invented Pop-Tart. Zinnia invented the lift. And Ashta invented the baseball. Good stuff.
The
Yeah.
elevator.
Oh, that's worse. Sticking a lift.
Yeah, we're going British
take
with
the
this, I'm
lift.
sorry.
Let's take the lift.
Okay, so that's the plan. Once we get there, find Rosé, ask the favor of... Not that kind of lift, John.
I know. It's just worse.
I mean, it's large.
Fair.
It's impressive. You could call it pretty uber.
Call the island the Uber.
No. Skyland is better than that.
Disagree. Regardless,
Okay.
take the lift down to the ground. It's pretty early in the morning still, actually. Like maybe just before noon. Rosé is awoken actually by you guys to bring you guys down. Doesn't seem too put off by it. She's in a pretty chipper mood. Asha, she gives you a very meek hello. And when she sees Caius looking all official with his, I assume, straightened clothes and brushed hair,
Yes.
as well as the little medal, he goes,
There a problem?
"No, it just didn't take you for the type. I don't
That
like
is-
I don't like
actually-
the fact that we're the same rank.
Me neither, actually. I don't like that I have any rank.
You
This
command
would kind of
you command two
lost on.
squads of soldiers. What are you talking about?
Oh dear.
Leading a command that's not really my thing, but it just sort of happens.
He won the lottery he wasn't exactly going for.
Yeah.
I've had 7 years trying to get that rank, and that was in a different army.
Oh
This
yeah.
is Rosé.
This is Rosé.
And he goes, what's your rank?
Chief Medical Officer. Why?
Oh, you're chief. Okay.
Um,
I-
have been the whole time actually.
I guess it never got brought up. I thought you were just a standard medic.
Oh no. I work with them, but that's because I'm the best at magic for it. I do a bunch of other support stuff, but in general, my rank is Chief Medical Officer. Only people with a certain rank can actually use the stone tablets.
He tilts his head, and you're okay with being on here instead of in the place where your rank kind of holds weight?
I mean, their job is to heal people. They're pretty good. And with the... honestly, we haven't had much fighting recently, so I don't feel too bad about it. Plus, this is a potential source of new healers, you know? Eventually.
I guess.
And, you know, you guys are doing a lot of work. The general seems to like you. She gives a very red glance towards the suit of armor that is Ashta.
Are you? You wanna...
I need some coffee. Let's get you down to Anther.
He shrugs.
She steps onto the tablet and it lifts. As you guys are heading down, she offers a Pop-Tart to each of you.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you, Rose.
It's a
Thank
mid-flight
you,
snack.
I'm not.
Wow, thanks.
I'm not very hungry right now, but thank you.
Suit yourself, and she
I'll
munches on
take
herself.
Oh,
She goes to put it in her mouth, it's like, alright. One officer to another,
Okay, cool.
she winks at you guys.
thanks. Oh, thanks.
As you guys land down in Anther, Rosalind, this city is changed. And not in a small way. There were probably maybe 10 to 15 of those longhouses. There's easily 60 now.
Holy!
Whoa.
And if they're not stuffing people in there, if they're staying at the exact same capacity, yeah, the population is easily not quadrupled because there was a bunch that stayed in the longhouse that's like the Earl's Hall, but easily tripled.
Refugees.
Whoa. It's logical, but I didn't expect this.
Wow.
Just... I mean,
As you
it
start-
was a big city, but... Damn.
As you start floating down, you see a very tired, very unhappy Samseer just floating in front of the tablet like,
Oh,
back.
Oh.
Samseer, it's been a while.
It has. I haven't slept since you were last here, I'm pretty sure.
Oh
Oh
no.
dear.
You must have.
What the fuck is that flying thing above me?
That's
That's,
our base.
A castle.
An island?
We picked it up on the way.
Skyland.
She floats over to Esther and pinches her
I
on the
don't like
arm.
that.
Ow.
Okay, I'm not dreaming.
Why would you push me?
Do you
Because if
want
someone
another-
pinches me, I'm gonna cut their head off. Let's go.
Want another,
Yikes,
do you want
okay.
another wine run, Samseer?
No. Trying to not to do that right now. I've been introduced to the wonders of caffeine.
Says with the deadest.
That's good. That's good to know.
They look at you and it goes, "What the fuck happened to you,
Which one?
Esther?"
Zinnia.
Sorry, fuck, Zinnia.
It spreads.
Well,
I've always been doing it.
what kind of elf was Samseer? Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
kind.
You do know that they do have the blessing of Coralon as well.
Okay.
Is it?
Oh.
Please hold, because it's one of the first characters in the campaign.
Probably
Lie.
I
Lie.
think they're a high elf.
I think it's
I'm pretty
Samseer.
sure they're a high elf.
Esther's gonna just ping
Hi, yep.
Zinnia.
Yeah, it is a high
Lie.
elf.
Lie. Lie.
Senior's just glances back at us and just says, a lot. I heal now more than I do more of the druid stuff.
expanding your horizons.
Well, changing my horizons, I can't do any nature stuff anymore, but yeah.
Well, I went from wizard to druid. I guess you can do whatever you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not what I was talking about, though. You look, static?
Oh, that, It's getting sick and Shatterkai and just getting like pretty sick.
What did
just a
you
little.
do to piss Coralon off?
I didn't piss Coralon off. I pleased the Raven Queen.
There's just this actually unchanging look of dead look. Just fucking freakazoids, all of you, I swear to God. Alright, let's go.
Well,
Esther's like
Yeah.
kicking herself inside her own head.
She kind of just floats and escorts you guys down with her, with them.
Ashta like gives a little glance over to Zinnia and just a quick faint, like, "See, I'm not the only one."
everyone hates the Raven Queen. I get she's a bitch, but guess what? Healing.
He slowly blinks with the look of "We've been through this, and you know my opinions."
Yeah.
So, as you land, the Duke is waiting for you there.
The Duke?
The Duke.
Shut up!
And Rosalind steps off the lift.
The lift.
In I don't know that she took the time to get changed. She might be in her. She might.
Sorry,
be in her
I just
local
wanted to... You would have had time between the war crew duo and the flight here if you wanted to change.
If she
Let me
thought
see
to.
if she thinks to. Is that a wisdom check? That's a net 20.
I'd say it's wisdom.
I'd say you could do it as a performance check, basically. So charisma, if you like.
Performance is insane. If I roll high, is she changing? I don't know what.
It's the performance is if you had the forethought to present as Rosalind. You can choose to roll something else if you want. I thought it was performance though.
I'm doing wisdom because it's thinking about it.
Sure.
And nope. She thought about it like too late.
Well, it's okay. Ash is standing beside her, so it's like
Comparatively.
diffusing the
Yeah,
amount of
well.
our on one side.
Rosalind is stepping off ahead and going for a hug anyway.
Yep. The Duke like kind of just puts out the arms with this strange expression on his face.
Insight.
Go for it.
7. Nope.
Kind of just
It's just so good to see you again.
it's you as well. What are you wearing?
Oh.
Oh, it's.
I mean, I'm glad you're wearing armor. It's good to see.
More protective.
Yes, and I'm happy to hear that. Has it been necessary?
Well, not really, but better safe than sorry.
I'm
Esther's-
rolling a deadly insight check.
Esther's
Hey,
painting.
she has
pinning
not been
face.
targeted by anything that had a roll. Well, I don't think she has. She might have.
I shall walk up and go, "It is mainly a precaution, and we're in a good place to keep it
Oh, you didn't
simple."
roll 2 DL1. You need to do that again.
Guys, I just realized something.
Huh?
Oh.
If you write a command and then you hit the up button, it just copies the command back to the thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been
I
doing
didn't
that
know
for
that,
a year.
So you want 2D20 to DL1.
Oh, well, there we go. I kind of just looked at you and said, huh.
Hang on a
All
second.
right.
Is that deception that I need to roll for that? Is that?
No, because you're not particularly lying. He's just trying to read you. Fine, he believes whatever the fuck you want him to believe.
Sorry, we can take it back if you didn't want me to. It was just funny. She's charming and butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. I'm sorry. Okay, proceed however you want. I don't really care. That's funny now. Conrad, are you
Alright,
there?
still there? I think we lost him. He's
Killed
the thing's
him.
still green.
No.
He's dead.
He's dead. We killed
You
him.
fucking killed him, Ariel.
Oh no. Wow.
Then he just quit. Fuck this. There he is.
Test.
There you are.
Sorry. Yeah, he's no, I don't think that's the roll or anything. Kind of just nods and goes, huh. I mean, glad to hear it. It looks like it's... Yeah. Well, if I recall correctly from when I was younger, it's... mithril?
Yes, the dwarves in Citadel have a way of working it. It's so light.
I said I don't have to send you any money. You've been working on the road.
I told you I didn't need any more, but thank you.
Also, we got into real estate, or I guess
I was gonna
magical
mention-
estate.
It's not free real estate though, it's ours.
Do you need...
That was
Furniture?
Sky, not Essence. Esther. Damn it.
Do we need what?
No one can get Esther's name right today.
That was Esther, fuck you.
He says, do you need builders, furniture? Or can you take some of our refugees?
We're working on the
Ashta?
first couple of points, and we're very strongly considering the last, but Ashta has some worries about anybody just coming on board and being in an isolated area, and frankly, we haven't really had certain parts of it scouted yet. It's
We
a
understand
work in
your
progress, but
we understand
I
your
won't
willingness and want to have people have sanctuary, though.
Ah, that's why the other one sounded wrong. You are way
Pardon?
more He's pointing to Ashta. You are way more formal when it's actually you. That's what it was.
He tilts his. Oh, Right.
Oh.
yeah.
Something was off. He called me dude at one point.
Oh.
Asher like pinches his like the bridge of his nose like almost too tight and just like
Ashta,
he's not
Ashta,
completely me.
I would
can
hope
you
not.
call us dude?
please
Can you
don't.
say dude?
don't.
Asher like
Let's do it.
gives this like
Don't.
dead look over to Essence and it's like I will not say a single
Esther.
fucking thing that thing says.
Yeah, Esther and Essence.
Damn it.
It's all of us today, don't worry.
It's at least I'm saying Essence and not Zinnia.
Hey,
I'm
we didn't
not
say
your
Xenia, we
ghost.
said Esther meaning Xenia.
I'm not your ghost, Ashta.
No, but
That
you
was
haunt his
out of-
dreams.
He turns to Esther and says, "I will not repeat a single thing that thing says."
Aw, come on, dude.
He is not having any of this right now.
Anyway,
Sam says just
What
like,
does that mean?
we're here just to
Dude.
spend a few days. We're trying to get some information together for the problem down south. Basically, we just need a little bit of time.
alright. Real quick. Xenia,
Yes.
roll a perception check.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just Zinnia?
Just Xenia.
24.
You hear a baby crying.
Which
Just you.
direction?
You're not sure. But no,
Oh,
no one else
just
is
as a-
reacting to it.
Just as a side note, sorry, I don't know if it was ever said, but the Ash's passive is now the same.
Yeah, no, it's nothing to do with the passive.
Yep, okay.
Oh, it's
Yep,
specific to character. Okay.
Zenya's just gonna put their hand down and just be like, I need to take a minute, 1 sec.
Are you
Gonna walk-
okay?
Yeah, just not feeling well. Gonna walk towards the direction of the crying.
Again, you can't quite tell what direction it's coming from.
Oh. Is it coming from at least like behind or in front? Is that anything they can get?
You have no idea.
Does Xenia remember in the proximity where Issa's place of residence, if it's nearby?
It's basically behind the Duke to your right.
Yeah,
You can
good.
walk past him and start heading that way if you'd like to.
Yeah, start that way.
And you start heading that way, and eventually, as you enter the doorway of the main hall, you can hear crying with direction now.
Okay, yep. Follow the crying a little bit more.
Yep. And you come up to a door you know to be Issa's. And the sound of the crying is very loud, as well as a shh, shh, please, I just want to get some sleep.
Xenia's just
Shh.
gonna give a gentle knock.
Come in.
Issa? It's Xenia. It's...
Oh, yeah, come in. Sorry. Wait, Xenia. Is Rosalind here?
Yeah, we're all here.
Oh, okay. Sorry, maybe that's what woke him up.
Do you want me to...
Can you hold
jump
Yenben
in
for a second?
I got Yenben, you...
She like places him in his arms, and he's much larger now.
Oh, Xenia's gonna just try and get him to stop crying.
As soon as he sits in your arms, he immediately quiets, and just kind of like looks up to your face, with that like wide-eyed kid expression.
Oh, Xenia's gonna like pet just like top of his head.
Yep, and he does like the kind of enjoyment. And you see Issa just buckle on a breastplate, toss a sword over her back, and just start running.
Are you sure you don't need? Oh, okay. Zinnia's trying to catch up as much as they can with the baby.
Yep. In the meantime, the Duke's just kind of fawning over you guys. Samsir has walked away with like almost a visible cloud over their head.
Where's Rose, really quick?
She took the tablet back up.
Oh shit, before she leaves, could Esther have asked her a question?
Sure.
Just like privately though, like a private
Yeah, you can pull her aside for a second.
Okay. I know this might sound a bit odd.
Esther, it's you.
That's fair, but I need to ask you a question because I am rather curious.
Sure.
What are your feelings toward Ashta?
How blunt do you want me to be?
Incredibly.
I want to kiss him silly.
I knew it!
We all been new.
Oh, that's wonderful!
Sorry,
Wow.
was I not being obvious enough? Do you think he didn't notice?
He has no idea.
Oh my god.
He,
This is why I'm asking you, because Ashta is incredibly blunt, and he's very smart, but he's also very stupid when it
I
comes to
can't see his
feelings.
face half the time now. He's wearing a helmet.
No, he's not.
No, we never established he wore a helmet. I said this the last time you brought it up.
Okay. Either way, she's short and there's a lot of armor in the way.
Alright.
He's not very emotionally intelligent. He's got about the emotional range of a teaspoon.
Well, he's just as sweet as a teaspoon of sugar anyways.
Do we know? Do we know the same Ashta?
I'm just gonna shrug. It's like, look, he saved a bunch of random people on the side of a mountain just because we requested it to. Then when we had a bunch of healers around him, he was then trying to help people anyways. Plus, he looks really good with stubble. I kind of really like stubble.
On that note, I would have to agree. He is a good person.
I didn't think you of all people would be saying that, but thank you.
I know he's a good person. He's one of my closest friends. I would die.
I'll step up the flirting a bit though.
Yes. I knew, by the way, you were incredibly obvious. Please keep doing that. He's so blunt. If you'd like, I can try helping.
No, Esther, dear. God, no.
Then I will stay in business.
Just like, I could help. Oh fuck, no, are you kidding? No! No!
Esther,
no, I don't think that'll be necessary.
I've heard from the other soldiers the way you handle, I don't want to say our culture because I don't want to be xenophobic, but you know what I mean.
What do you mean by your culture?
Your understanding of personal distance, emotional and physical, is very skewed compared to the average person. And I feel like if I followed your track, he'd probably shoot me, just out of fear.
Understandable.
You told me to be blunt, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I'm very much still an outsider here.
Yes. That being said, God, the men can't stop fawning over you. Your soldiers fucking love you.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, your soldiers, they fucking love you. They said they've never had a better commander. Something about aloe vera?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Alright, as long as we're even.
You see she's incredibly flustered.
Yep, she pats you on the knee and says, good talk, bye. The lift starts going.
Okay. Essa's very happy now.
She's a halfling.
Oh!
Wait, what?
I forgot
No,
that.
she was human?
Oh, no, I thought she was human.
Oh, sorry. My mistake, sorry. She was a very short human.
Okay,
what the
fuck?
Wait a minute.
Oh, I
It
see
was
now.
Sorry.
specifically said she had a taste
In my
for
notes-
the taller
sorry.
guys.
In my notes, she's, one of her parents is a halfling.
Okay.
Oh,
That's why I
is
was
that possible?
confused. I'm like,
What do you mean?
She's a Harkness, got it.
Why did she
She's-
go
she's
for my
4'6".
knees?
Oh boy.
Yep, she's a Harkness. Halfling somewhere in the family. Human, but barely.
Basically, yeah.
It's somewhere.
Oh god, no.
Uh-oh.
If I could do that voice, I would. At this point, after the brief
Don't.
conversation with the Duke, between Dragon Chess and Ashta,
Yep.
there is a Rosalind, an incoming Issa with a clang, clang, clang of armor.
Yep. And a crash as hug happens, and there's armor on the other side now too.
Yep, and she just full on lifts you in the air with strength you didn't know she had.
Ash's just gonna
Fine, I
stay
knew
on
she was
standby.
strong.
No,
Ash's-
this is unbelievable.
Oh. Oh, really?
She's
I
got
think
buff.
I was just gonna stand on standby, just make sure no one falls over, and he can catch whoever does.
You know, Ashta, you actually notice Issa looks like she's a couple inches taller than she was previously, and is like a few inches wider just in the shoulders.
Hmm.
I should like tilt his head. Like, have you been working out your bones?
She,
Put me
after she
down.
finishes
Put me
hugging
down.
Rosalind. Oh, sorry. She put Rosalind down. Well, I've been practicing with all this new magic I have, and my sword,
And you
which
made
seems to be a
yourself taller.
wonderful combination, by the way. I don't know. I just feel way stronger than I used to be.
You seem
You're
like it. Hold
physically
on.
larger.
Hold on a
Since
moment.
the
I'm
last
just
time.
measuring
I'm-
against her.
Yep. She used to be like a couple inches taller than you. She clears 6 feet now.
What?
Have you not been hitting your head on doorways?
Oh dear, I know you don't know, but no, that doesn't happen unless you're very, very tall.
I don't hit my head on doorways either. So you just come with Yenben.
There's a like a
Yenben.
distant shattering of glass sound as Ashton's face stays. Just
And this lopsided grin of like pure joy as to what she just did to you.
Oh, I have something for you, Yenben. Here, and she's delving into.
And then
her
is
sack.
currently being toted by Zinnia,
Yep.
like 300 feet away.
Ashton
when you
turns
get
said, "It's
this.
like, did you go to get her
I heard crying. Please, you just
From
went back
here?
to sleep. Yeah. You didn't?
Ashton
No.
turns to the rest of the group.
No,
No.
not at all, Zinnia.
One moment, and she's in the bag. Is Yenben awake?
Yeah, he's awake.
She
He's
hauls
calm,
Out,
but he's awake.
she hauls out the polar beaver plushie thing that
see
Ashton
his
won
eyes?
all that time ago.
His eyes go huge, just the two little grabby hands out towards it with the claws out.
Oh,
Yep, and she puts it in the arms and lets him hug it.
Yep, and as soon as like it gets in the claws, you just see him start like biting the ear.
Oh,
You want me good?
breathing.
Oh yeah, and he's kind of just silent. Yeah. He tried to chew through my armor the other day, broke his tooth.
Oh no.
God.
It's okay, we had someone fix it. I think he learned his lesson. But that thing's soft.
Do
Are
you
his
actually
teeth
get baby
starting-
teeth?
I believe so. That's a great question. I didn't check that one.
Are there some teeth beginning to poke through his gums? If so, I know a remedy for that. It helps to soothe them.
It seems most of his have gone through the gums. They're all out. I think it might be the difference in tabaxi. I think comes out much sooner.
That's good then.
But he's through that. It's also they're much sharper. I went to go feed him, and she like lifts up her finger, and like most of the nail is torn off of it. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
he's aggressive, but he's very happy it seems. And Zinnia, he cries when it's anyone but me holding him, and he usually cries when I'm holding him. How
Well,
are you doing that?
I know when we first sort of found him, I was holding him a lot.
Maybe.
Ashton like puts a hand up and just he was with the things you were dealing with, Issa, right? Meanlocks.
Yeah, he was. He was.
He
Those
was,
things.
His mother was at least. He was.
he was in the
elsewhere.
tower itself.
Yes.
But
Most
his
of the
mother-
matron got a hold of him.
But his mom dealt with those things.
Potentially, and I know at least she was dealt with by those things. The mean locks.
And those things are weird and shadowy, but they're fey.
Yes, that seems to be where I get my abilities from.
Do you know
Hey,
if there were...
Hey, Zinnia, what would you describe yourself as right now, Zinnia?
Fae,
And
but with... Huh. But there's two types that could fit. I was...
you're Fae with weird shadowy bits.
Yes, but so are drow.
Yeah. He shrugs and
Roll a vantage religion check there, Xenia.
Okay. Uh-oh. This is gonna be a fun roll. Once my buttons start working. Oh, this one doesn't like it when I turn on the advantage button. Let's try.
Yeah, any shoot spells never do.
And guidance for that. Because I clicked it. Let's see if it happens.
It will at some point.
It will. I know I clicked it. Use
Oh,
the
man.
B4. I clicked that too.
In the meantime,
that's-
if
yep.
Issa is going to be in any way awake for it, an hour later, Rosalind will invite Issa to the challenge Ashta with other opponents. Dragon
Sure.
chess potential.
And she'll agree.
14.
Xenia, you would know that drow are not shadow touched is the term.
Okay.
They have no relation to the Shadowfell. They have relations to the Underdark and the Abyss.
Alrighty. Make probably... Yeah, it's shadows. Gosh, I need to go back up to that tower at one point.
Zinnia,
Yes.
could I try to hold him?
Alright. Zinnia will slowly pass the Yenben to Esther.
He's still enjoying the plushie, just kind of claws digging into it and biting at its ears. Yep, basically.
How big
There's like the slight like that. As he does so.
Does he occasionally
course.
like kick his back feet together? Just
Oh yeah, it's kind of like his back feet are kind of swaddled, but you can see the little motion underneath and the tail flicking back and forth.
Esther is absolutely fucking glowing. She's so happy.
Yep. And Yidman seems pretty happy. At one point, you see him like stretch out and kind of like cuddle towards Esther's chest, as it seems Esther is very warm.
Huh. Kids are odd. Never really held a baby. That was fun. Yenben's fun.
He's absolutely adorable. And he's gotten so big.
Yeah, he has. He's still a kitten, but a large.
Well, good
As
luck
for
keeping up
dragon
with him.
chess, do you mind if I wait till the evening? If
course.
Zinnia and Esther, if you want to take care of Yenben for a few hours, I would love us some sleep.
Oh my god, I'd
Yes,
love to.
get some rest, please. Is there anything else we should get before you fall asleep? I don't want to bother you.
No, if you speak to most of the people in the long haul, there's quite a few mothers who are in need of help, and they formed almost like a group to kind of help each other out.
That's sweet. That's very sweet.
Oh my gosh.
It's very helpful.
I'd like to go speak to them if possible.
Please do, and make sure that they know it's Yenben. They seem to enjoy my company, as I'm always awake at night when the kids are the biggest problem.
Go get
Yes,
some
you
rest.
get some rest.
We'll see you in the evening when you wake up.
Dinner. Make sure I'm awake for dinner. We'll eat together.
All right. We'll do so.
All right. And she gives you one more hug, which you can hear the armor kind of like slightly creaky, even though it's flexible. And she says, "We'll discuss this one more." And she runs back off and clearly towards the promise of a good sleep.
Yep.
She's been
See,
getting,
just the Duke with an amused smile on his face, watching all this happen.
she's been getting more powerful. I don't just mean the upper body strength part.
Oh, you're certainly not wrong. Her magic is impressive now.
Was she taller?
Fanes over to Rosalind.
Yes.
Fanes over to Rosalind. A good candidate. Don't you think?
At least for night shifts. But yes.
Yeah, she's getting tall. That's
All right.
interesting.
So, how much time do we have to kill, Conrad?
Until there.
Until, yeah, evening and dinner and everything we can do and have to do for stuff, campaign stuff.
I mean, it's 7 hours till dinner. So if you can think of anything to do between
Dang it.
then,
I need 8 hours in order to do my first.
you would have had one
enchanting.
more while the two of them were in the discussion.
No, because I was. Enchanting is an 8-hour day of work.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be 8 at once, but fair enough.
One day, 8 hours work, basically.
You could do 7 hours and then finish after dinner.
I could try. What happens? I suffer 2 levels of exhaustion, though, if I fail the check, and we're doing important stuff.
Ugh.
Um,
Well, also, we have 3 days, so that means 2 nights.
yep.
So if you're gonna do it now.
Good point. Conrad, can I go ahead and try that?
Let me just pull up the enchanting rules.
I've got it. And she's pretty much just gonna be like, alright, there is something I really want to try for the first time. Is my room still available? And assuming it is.
Of course.
I need, I need something relatively inconsequential in case the magic goes wrong. Something not terribly important that I can borrow and replace if need be.
Like a weapon, or?
Well, perhaps a small one. I don't want to use up any of your bolts.
You see the Duke actually reach into a bag of his, which you know is a magical holding bag.
Out of character, I am outright going for the magical shaving razor for Ashta.
Yep, I was waiting on that. I was about to say, but
I want to do this thing. I want to do this one goofy thing before I get into actually enchanting important stuff. All Rosalind wants to do is see if she can make something magical, not give it special effects.
Ashta will take us think for a sec, and then like into his kind of backpack bag.
We've lost Conrad, by the way.
Conrad's gone. Yep, he's dead.
There he go.
Hello.
Hey, Conrad.
Hello. Hello?
Hello.
There we go. There we go. Please continue.
Ash will just like think for a sec then, and just go into his backpack and like toss over a folded straight razor.
Well, that will do. It'll at least tell me if I can get it onto a bladed edge. Don't worry,
mean-
I'm just trying to see if I can make something magical without being too complicated. It's
Do you
first
make it
test.
sharper, or
Maybe.
just
Maybe.
putting magic on it?
Maybe I can make it so that you never have to sharpen it again.
That would be appreciated.
I'll
I
see
use it
what
a
I'll see
lot,
what's possible.
but I can always replace it.
Well, that's the idea, is I can replace it if I happen to completely ruin it in some way.
I don't think it. Don't. Just have fun. Don't worry about that too much. I can get one myself.
I will really quick remind you.
Yeah.
If creating a non-recharging magic item, the time cost is halved.
Okay, so that's only 4 hours.
Yep.
Alright, interesting. I see. Alright, so she's gonna take about 4 hours in whatever room, if it's still hers, to do that. It's definitely common, it's nothing special. She'll use some of the slurry we have and nothing else.
Did I measure that by size or by gold cost of slurry?
I think size. Hold on, let me go into the party loot. We've got 40 liters of low quality slurry.
Okay. It would. I'll say this is like a negligible amount.
Okay. Enchanting tool skill check. What is that based on?
It It would be through your spellcasting modifier if you have one, which is
Yes.
charisma.
Yes, it is. All right. Let me go
Then
ahead and make
charisma.
that.
Can you use feign for advantage on this?
No, because charisma is not a thing.
Right.
Yeah, Feign don't affect that.
But if Esther
I'll
was
say,
good,
I'll say for that case that could be an exception.
Okay.
'cause it is very much informational things.
Yeah, it's informational. It's related to your magic. It's not related to your raw charismatic talent, which is what why charisma wasn't originally included. Because Feign can't make you better at socializing. They can just give you more information. For enchanting, yeah, you can use Feign points for that.
Okay, sounds good. I'll go ahead and use one Feign point with the 4 hours. How much slurry am I using for something very small and simple like this?
Just a negligible amount.
Okay. So I will not change that after all, and I'll go ahead and attempt that check. 29!
Well then,
It is the best straight razor that ever was magicked.
just roll me a luck roll for that on top of that.
Sure. Everybody else, you've got 4 hours without Rosalind. 16.
Smooth.
Alright.
But at the end of the
Does not
program,
even
Rosalind's
require
gonna come
shaving
out
cream, it
looking...
just shaves it smooth.
I swear to
Every
God,
time.
if you give me a sentient straight razor,
No.
Oh, that's the last thing you need. Another sentient sharp object.
Oh
No more
god.
sentient sharp objects for Ashta.
Yep.
Come
this
out
is a straight razor that's just like,
Hey,
I
my
require
name is-
facial hair.
My name is Edge.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god, he's the edgelord! He's the king of all straight razors!
It is!
Yeah.
Alright, put this in your
I need it.
inventory as Edgelord, parentheses, straight razor, please. Please, Devin.
Alright. The Lord of Edges.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, what do I get? What do I give to Ashta after this?
The edgelord. I don't know what else you want me to call it.
Okay, sure.
As you finish the enchantment, you actually feel for a moment the magic kind of leave the slurry. And there's this gentle glow to the straight razor, which I assume is just a practical, simple straight razor, Ashta.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Wooden handle, steel.
you actually see the scratches, not on the blade, not like nicks in the sharp edge, because believe it or not, Ash does keep it pretty sharp. But the actual slight marks on the side of the blade that don't actually affect its ability to cut, slowly closing, as well as like the little sweat stains and little watermarks on the handle, going back to a very clean wood finish. And this worked. There is no doubt about it.
Yep. She puts it back in its little leather pouch sheath thing, and then runs out, sending Thorn ahead to look for him, and then finds him, and
Alright.
it worked! Look
In
at
the
this.
meantime,
Yeah, I was gonna say, for the 4 hours.
yes, we're gonna go by reverse order of at the bottom of this thing for me. So Sky, what were you doing in the 4 hours?
I'm sorry, 4 hours?
Yeah, you had 4 hours of downtime. What are you doing with it? Other than taking care of Yenben.
Shoot. Probably for at least probably 2 of them, pass the Yenben off to Zinnia, and then try to
Sure. Go ahead and add 2 hours of meditation. And you're already a master mom, so I'm not gonna make you add stuff to that. Zinnia, 4 hours. 2 of them are with
Well-
Yenben, assumedly.
Yep, but before those 2 hours, he's gonna look at Caius and run at him. And we already know what's happening.
Alright. Give me a
Zing it!
What? Oh, guys.
Is that
yeah, athletics check, man.
athletics check?
27 on Zinnia.
27 on Zinnia.
Yep.
You just
Fuck.
died for a suplex?
It's a
You're
guided,
dead,
dude.
Athletics?
The guided
Fucking dead.
Yikes. Okay.
Do it, guys. No.
Fucking dead, yo.
Nope, just barely. No. No, not at all.
You get suplexed into another existence for a second.
Christ.
A ring and mat materialize right in Zinnia and you're slammed into it.
Oh shit, I need to go take care of the baby.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
for the 2 hours that Esther has Yenben, could she go speak to that group among?
Sure. we'll get to that in a quick second in that case.
Awesome.
Yeah, Caius is currently Fane training more over the... just putting those hours into more training.
It wasn't even
Right.
suplexing. Dean just wanted to suplex him once and then go into their own training for a bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, mark off your training. Guys, you're good.
So that's how much... that's how many hours?
4 hours.
So if I'm training with someone else, would that be 8?
Yep, who are you going to train with you?
Probably either squads or...
Squads are up in the castle.
Squads are up in the castle?
Yep.
Who's around, really?
Great question. You have the whole of Anther.
The whole of Anther.
You can also fan message a bird and get it to teleport you up.
Yeah, but Anther's hometown, so I'll see if there's if the wrestling promotion's in town.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Look for any like backyard wrestling groups.
Yeah, that too.
7.
7.
You get handed a poster with like an address on it, basically.
Uh-huh.
You head there.
What?
Do you head to the location on the poster?
Yeah, I guess.
Alright. Knock on the door. It's a smaller house, actually. It's strange not seeing a longhouse in this town. It's just a small building. Where there's a lot of hushed voices on the inside. You knock on the door. The voices go quiet for a second. A little eye slat opens and it goes... Just looks you up and down and says... Caius?
What? Do I recognize this person?
Not in the slightest. Mostly because you're looking at just his eyes.
The one and only.
Huh. The eye slat closes. Ka-chung, ka-chung. Door opens. And you see 6 people in the room,
Mm-hmm.
all wearing purple clothes.
Oh god! Oh god!
All with either cut hair along the same as your style, or kind of all brushed to one side.
Uh-huh.
2 of them have bloody noses.
Two of them have what?
Bloody noses.
Of course.
One is laying on the ground in a cot, with a towel pressed over his face.
I've run into some weird podunk backyard wrestling promotion that are all just fanatics of me.
And they all kind of look at you and they go, "It's a really good cosplay, dude."
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, John, one player or another, you need to
Yeah.
yell out there can only be one and proceed to beat everyone into the ground.
Please do it.
Suplex.
Sorry guys, there can only be one preeminence of performance, and I go at one of them.
So you're actually gonna go at one of them?
Sure,
Oh, no.
they all seem into it.
Alright, don't even roll. This dude doesn't know what he's doing. He tries to like go into wrestling with you. It's so bad. He like genuinely punches you a couple times in the face trying to do a fake one. It lasts like 30 seconds at most. And by the time you're done, he's on the ground just like holding his neck like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm the real deal, man. There's a reason Valor Bound always says don't try this at home.
The other 2 Caiuses who were still on their feet are just looking at you in fear.
Caius beats the shit out of his fan.
I stand in what is assumedly like a podunk wrestling like backyard wrestling ring.
This is the inside of a shack, dude.
Yeah, the inside.
You just walked into someone's shed and suplexed them.
Yeah, that's on brand.
That's fair.
Caius mostly played a heel in Valor Bound, so he takes off his belt of giant strength and holds it above his head.
Yeah, and there's like a weak cheer from the one with the towel covering his face.
Yay.
Alright.
Come on, that was one of them. Get through the other 6.
3 of them are already injured, it seems, when he walked in.
Yeah, I take on the strongest guy.
Finish your job.
It's prison rules. I take on the quote unquote toughest looking guy, and I just punch him.
There
in
is
the
one
nose.
Caius who is slightly overweight and also way too tall to be Caius. He's like almost 7 feet tall. Like, this is a large dude. You wouldn't be surprised if he was a Goliath.
The guy is bigger.
And you kind of mentioned like the strongest Caius, and he just has this look of fear on his face.
Wow, dude, you.
And
Alright.
as soon as you say "wow, dude," he just gets this yell of rage, and he just like starts running towards you with his arms out.
All right.
Roll athletics. The belt is currently held over your head, so don't add that.
Caius,
Fuck.
you
Isn't it?
legitimately went
I fucking
into some
accidentally.
The
kid's shed
13.
and are beating up kids who idolize you. What the fuck?
Oh, you can make that in acrobatics if you'd like instead, because I think your acrobatics is higher.
Acrobatics.
Imagine
Yeah.
if you're just like in like a wrestling convention, like wearing a John Cena outfit, and John Cena like walks up and power bombs you.
Shit, yeah, that's essentially what this is. John
And
Cena-
then a John Cena
Just
cosplayer
Caius
who's like the
Ambrose
size
turned
of the
elbow.
Undertaker comes at John Cena.
The only way it can go.
Yes.
Jumping DDT him, I guess, into the face.
Fuck,
Oh,
dude.
poor baby.
You. I don't know what that thing you just described was, but you do it. That's exactly it. He goes to come at, like, spear you, basically. You pretty much leapfrog over his head and just trip him up, and he's just on the ground and just looking up at you. And, by the way, y'all fuckers keep predicting shit in chat. Stop that. He just looks up to you and goes, "Teach me your ways."
I pull out my coin purse and I put a bunch of coins down. Go to a wrestling school, and I leave.
No. He, like, grabs your ankle and he's like, No. Teach me your ways.
His student is here!
You made this can of worms. Now so
I'm standing it. Fine. So I basically take 30 minutes to teach them like wrestling 101. Just like the absolute basics, how to take a bump, how to...
When you go into the basics, they're not bad, actually. They're not fantastic by any means, they're not professional. But the absolute basics, they got it pretty down.
How old are these kids?
It varies wildly. This one's probably about 17, but he's also an elf, so you're not sure exactly how old he actually is.
Perhaps he should come aboard as Caius' student.
Talk Ashton.
That being said,
God.
the Goliath
body
is
double.
pretty clumsy, if we're being honest.
It's
He's
fine.
doing-
It's fine. I know. It's like Caius knows various. Like people who are like branded as like like monsters among men. So he teaches them that style. That's like leans into the clumsiness a little bit.
Yeah, and when it comes to like placing his feet in an optimal position, he's very good at it. You can see that he has the knowledge, but actually moving into the right position seems to be an issue for him. But yeah, you take however long you choose to teach them.
Yeah.
you've got
Take a
4
decent
hours.
amount. Yeah, I take like 2 hours.
And by the end of it, they are sweaty and exhausted. But they look pretty happy with themselves. And the ones who can walk, because the one with the towel over his head just stays laying down the entire time.
Oh, honey, no!
Oh god.
Caius didn't do that to him. He was like that when he walked in.
You need a I'm like I like looked at it, I was like you actually need a cleric, I think.
I've had enough concussions to know.
Yeah.
Just another groan of.
I can feel the ring
Yeah.
in your skull from here.
yeah, I could hear the ring in your skull.
You see the one who was initially attacked by Caius, not the big one, but the other one, the first one, who checked the door. He kind of like sighs and Alright, fine. Walks over to the dude with the towel over his head and runs a finger down the center of his chest. And then slams like a fist into his sternum. And there's a cough, and the dude kind of like sits up and he's like, "Oh, thank you, but why do you do it like that?"
Jeez. Remind me of my trainer. Okay.
There's just this look of pain. As he looks up properly at you, he goes,
Face.
"Oh fuck, I didn't think you were actually Caius."
Who did you think I was?
I've been
He
barely
says in a room of
conscious for
6
2
other
hours.
Caiuses.
If it looks like a Caius and it sounds like a Caius, is it really a Caius though?
Look, everyone in here looks like a Caius and frankly smells like a Caius, okay?
First of all, how dare you?
Oh.
I always
I hear the
Just,
gunshot
like,
go
out of
off.
instinct, plug some like deodorant brand that he'd been sponsored by, just like out of pure instinct. Just that's why I always use. It's just like I have to remember that I'm not really sponsored by them anymore. At least
That's why I always use Halfling nope, that was gonna be the wrong name. That was for a later concept, never mind.
Spice.
Halfling Spice, sure.
Ancient
I
spice.
hate it.
That's why I always use Mold Spice.
No, no, fuck off. That's why I always use Bounty. Bounty. Clean
No.
up the spills.
Okay.
No
No,
other.
no, that's copyrighted, we can't. So, eventually, he is properly introduced, the 2 hours of training is complete, and the Goliath, as you kind of go to leave, he kind of just grabs your wrist again and he goes, "Where have you been?"
Well, and I've been embroiled in some stuff. Doing some hero work for the kids.
Roll a deception check.
Roll a deception check.
Yes. I don't care how much Caius. I don't care how much Caius believes he's telling the truth. Roll a deception check.
Deception check.
He has to lie to himself first.
Fine.
Yes.
Can't even do that right.
Oh, no.
Still being an asshole about it. It's just doing good deeds.
Kind of
I
just look
guess.
at you. It's like, can you can I help?
What exactly are you good at, bud?
I'm really good cook,
We need.
and I'm learning how to fight. I was never great at it, but I'd like to be
I know
better.
I know a couple of people who know how to fight. And to be honest, we might need a better cook than what we currently have.
Excuse me? I have a proficiency. I trained for this.
Flash shattering in the background.
Listen. Those first times around, you fed Caius burnt soup, and he's still.
Fed you breakfast this morning, motherfucker. I made you pancakes.
There's only one first impression that you can make, Zinnia. I don't care
And
how many
it's
I don't
toasting
care,
cabbage on a campfire.
precisely. I don't care how many times you read
Food
one.
battle. Food battle.
Oh my god.
Shokugeki. Let's do it.
But he kind of like he's like scratching back his head. It's like, and I'm the one who gave everyone here their haircuts.
Oh.
And to be
That's
fair,
cute.
the haircuts are incredibly well done.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not
Cook
bad.
and hairdresser.
Adopt him!
Cook and hair.
Have fun
I
walking
hear
Ashton in that.
Esther's words ringing in my head. Yeah, sure. Come on. Well, I'll take you to. Oh god, this is gonna sound really fucking weird. I'm gonna take you to my castle.
Oh, wow.
This is really
Oh,
weird.
wow.
Listen,
You don't need to roll a con save because you've stunned him.
amazing. You like castle.
Let me show you to my castle in the sky.
Let me show you my. Let me Caius's
Caius fan
moving
club turned into
castle.
a suicide.
This is weird. This is weird. Is this weird? This is weird.
He kind of goes. I mean, it's good, kind of weird, right?
I mean, yeah.
He kind of just
Yeah.
kind of starts following you, very happy, and kind of just goes, "Bye, guys." And you see him like run off for a quick second. He has a backpack from around the back, and he goes,
Oh.
"I kept this packed for a reason."
I don't know. Oh, I
Okay,
guess I.
no, okay, now for a moment, imagine that John Cena walks up, beats a bunch of John Cena cosplayers up, proceeds to then give him a boot camp and abduct one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's
you just
my
Neverland
ideal
Ranch the
John
wrestler.
Cena. That's my ideal John Cena.
Caius literally walked into some kid's shed, beat the shit out of them, proceeded to train them to make them somewhat better, and then stole the one he deemed the best.
Fire Emblem?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
If the youngest looks about 17, then it might not be kids.
You know, this
To
this
be
guy's
fair.
probably in his like early 20s.
Yeah, okay. He's an
Oh,
adult.
okay, good.
Yeah,
He can
yeah.
make his choice.
Goliath, you said?
Probably. It's he might have giant blood in him for sure. Looks Goliath.
Half giant.
Half giant.
Half giant.
Giant. Okay.
Quarter Giante.
Big boy.
Yes.
Okay. Real quick. If that's all Caius is doing.
Didn't go where I expected it to, but rolled my D100 and it gave you the number.
If Caius is done.
Well, Esther is with moms.
Ashta, real quick, is going to check what the Duke is up to and see if he wants to take up that dragon chest offer.
And honestly, the Duke ends up being pretty busy.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to check. What's he up to first?
The moment he heads back into the Great Hall, he is just swarmed by people asking him questions. Not like
Alright.
reporter style, but like a manager who has had to deal with this shit for too long.
Mm.
He's very efficient. You notice he's very good at delegating, at giving people the answer they need, and getting them where they need to go. But there's always someone following behind him, and he's always answering a question for most of that 4 hours.
Actually, if he can just like get a minute
Yeah, eventually.
for him, just it's like, do you need help with anything? Is there anything I can?
He gives you a smile that you know very well, as someone who's got way too much on their plate.
Mhm.
But is kind of happy to be doing it. He kind of just gives you a pat on the shoulder and says, if you can keep them away at dinner, you'll have done more than enough.
Sorry, say that last bit again.
If you can keep them away at dinner, you'll have done more than enough.
He like look over like the people around you, or
Just the people who need me to answer questions for them.
he kind of like slowly nods, like, well, I am under your payroll for your daughter, so I suppose I can take the bodyguard position up next.
Let's be frank, Ashta. You're her friend. I very much appreciate that you're protecting her. But if you can give me some semblance of a break, so I can have dinner with my daughter, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Thank you. And he turns back around and there's two more people waiting for him while you were doing that conversation with him.
Yep.
He directs them with where to go, and he's busy.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Asha is going to take a second, think about how can I scare the fuck out of some political types for
Not
a few hours.
Stick
I-
Esther on them.
And I will remind you, a lot of them don't look like political types. You would recognize some of them as his like advisors, some of them as guards. A lot of them came in saying like, "Hey, there was an issue here. I have the people involved in this place. Is this something you need to come and handle, or can I take care of this myself?" And that's 90% of the questions.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you can tell he doesn't have the infrastructure or the means to control a very quickly growing city.
All right. Just for fun as well, he's gonna go ahead. He's gonna cast Detect Portal.
Surprisingly, completely clear.
Yes. Huh. Can't say I'm disappointed.
Roll me a quick wisdom check, with advantage, of course.
Alright. 16.
Okay. Did you detect a faint bit of magic coming from Issa?
Hmm. What flavor?
You're not sure, actually. It's not that it's one you haven't seen before. It's a lot mixed together, almost.
Alright. I guess, he'll keep that in mind. And he'll take the next hour at least. Lucy,
Yes, boss?
I'm gonna try to do the thing where I jump to you again. Go around a corner or something.
Alright, can I use hole?
In his head, oh, do you need to,
Yeah.
um,
Quick, please.
still, can he scout out into place?
You can find, like, a hole in the ground, yeah.
Yeah, non-flammable area.
It's pretty still in winter, you're good.
Alright, yep.
He moves over very quickly, and he does, like, the dog thing where he squats down his back half, and he does what he has to do.
Horses don't do that, but okay.
I know they don't do that. This is not a normal fucking horse, I'm sorry to tell you.
Still a horse.
You just told your horse to shit in a hole, okay? It's gonna figure out a way to do it somehow.
It's in a fucking hospital.
Alright, anyways, he's, after that, real quick, he's gonna just have Lucy go around the corner, he's gonna try that, jump.
Yep, and you can put an hour's training into that.
Alright. What should I call that, like, horse jump?
Horse support? I don't know. It's your horse. Loosey goosey?
No. I'll just,
I'll let you.
yeah,
I'll let you figure that out. That one.
yes, boss.
Sure.
1 hour.
Boss, yes.
Uh,
All right, you got 3 more to handle.
Yep, he'll just put the last 3 into... screw it, wing training.
Sure. What do you got for that?
117.
Okay. All right. And as you are flying, Esther, when you're with the moms, you walk into the biggest PTA meeting you've ever seen. It is the moment you walk in, you know what this is. You are no stranger to this. This is a gossip circle with binkies.
Yes, Esther is familiar with these.
Yes. That being said, the kids are being taken care of by a few moms who are just focusing on it. A lot of them are playing. A couple of the older ones are playing with the younger ones, but the oldest is maybe 5-6 years old.
Esther just kind of like walk up, holding in Ben.
Yep. And as soon as they see him, they kind of squeal, but then look up to you, and it's like, "Oh, you're not. Hi there. Are you the new help?"
No, my name's Esther. I'm a friend of Lady Rosalind.
Oh, Lady Rosalind. Oh, she didn't. That is Yenben, right? She didn't have a kid and not tell anyone, right?
No, this is Yan Ben.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. You see one of the other moms. God, Karen, really?
No, it's a fair question.
Karen.
I understand. Yes, her name is Karen. We're ignoring it. We're ignoring it.
Really, Karen? Shut up, Susan.
Basically, yes.
No, I'm you see, I specialize in childcare from where I'm from, so I thought maybe I would be a bit more comfortable here.
Oh, for sure. Sit down. We have cookies. They handed you a plate of cookies that smell fantastic, actually. You notice that they're nut-free, which is very rare for this part of the world.
Neat. Esther, just if you have any, can they just like start exchanging methods of childcare?
Yep. Some of them are, you've heard of like old wives' tales.
Oh
You didn't realize there was a new category of crazy known as old mom's tales.
Here's the thing, though. I do.
Old fantasy mom's tales.
No, here's the thing. In the desert, a lot of them are based in necessity.
Ah, I see.
This is not.
Oh dear.
This is them talking about ridiculous shit they've done to raise their child.
Oh no.
Please give me some examples.
There's one that has like an enchanted binky, and swears up and down. That's why they seem to have some kind of magical note to them. Ignoring the fact she's a high elf and is raising a high elf child.
Oh my god.
Esther's just kind of like, what the fuck have I walked into?
Oh, just internal screaming in the room.
Yeah, and you can see every once in a while, like, one will say something, and always there's another who gives this kind of look of like, but I think my method's better. And it just keeps going, and going, and going. And you're wondering how any of these people have been allowed to be around a child.
Okay, you know how I said Esther is used to a circle of moms? She's not fucking used to this.
Yeah, and at the moment you're very glad you aren't. Because good lord.
This shit does not happen in the desert. We raise children normally.
There's one who swears up and down that she always just lets her kid play outside by tying a rope to his belt and letting him stay outside because the air is good for him, and if it's in the direction of the patchwork forest, then something good must come out of it. And it goes on and on.
Esther's gonna just politely excuse herself from the group, make up a lie, and go find somebody else.
Alright, you do so. I'm not even gonna make you roll a deception check because they're not even paying attention. They're so enamored in being able to tell their own stories.
Can Esther find, like, Rosalind or Zinnia or somebody?
You know where Rosalind's room is, and you know she's enchanting right now. But it's been most of the 4 hours. You could eventually get to her without too much issue.
Oh, wait. Could Esther actually go find Caius?
No. You straight up don't find him.
Damn.
Unless you're looking at a shed out in the middle of fuck all nowhere, no, you don't find him.
Yeah, no.
Ashta.
You'd probably able to find Ashta if you wanted to.
Alright, let's go bother Ashta.
Probably
You see-
in his wing training.
Yep. And you notice that he's gotten pretty good at, despite the fact that, you know he doesn't have his ability active. His wings come out for long enough to keep him from being wingless and unable to use it.
Ashta,
He lands over beside, probably just as he's like finished the hour.
You notice there's a lot of sweat on him.
Yep.
how?
He has the ice thing going. He might not.
Okay.
It's more from strain rather than heat.
All right.
I mean this in absolutely no offense.
The wings shatter into ice. What?
How have any children survived here?
He tilts his head. What?
How have these kids survived?
You say holding in, Ben.
I assume with food and drink and air.
No. You remember how Isa said there was like a circle of moms in the center there?
He's like, I wasn't particularly sectioning off part of my memory for that, but yes.
Regardless, Isa said that there was a circle of moms, so I got excited because, you know, matron, motherhood, all that fun stuff, and I like being around kids and learning about new techniques to deal. Anyways, my interest, not yours. I don't understand. And she just kind of looks around to make sure nobody's listening.
Yeah, it's Ashta. He's in a pretty secluded area.
I don't understand how their kids are still alive.
What do you mean? Are they a cult sacrificing people?
No, one thinks that an enchanted binky is the reason that her high elf child
has magical abilities. The other ties a rope around their kid so they can leave them outside unsupervised near the patchwork forest, hoping that something magical will come out of the forest.
He kind of like gives a look and is like, okay.
Is this normal?
I don't think so, but then again, nothing in this entire continent is normal.
You don't do that shit in the desert.
You don't
You
do a
leave your
lot of
kid
things in the desert. I'm not vouching for whatever the hell you're talking about at all.
I'm
But
just really scared for those kids.
he kind of like leans back and it's like, I mean, at least they mean well.
No, and I know that. Of course they mean well. Every mother, every parent means well. It's not a matter of
I wouldn't go that far, but
most of them mean well. It's just their methods aren't usually the best. Anyways, not important. I mean parents anyhow. Sperm donors and ovarian holders don't count. Anyways, I didn't realize how different parenting would be in different parts here.
you're from a completely different society as far as I can tell.
Yeah, we don't we'll put it this way. If there is a young child left unsupervised, more often than not, that child's probably going to die. Just
My uncle didn't exactly give 100% eye on me the whole time. There's a point he kind of expected me to be able to not get myself killed.
No, and I understand that. I mean, it's just the desert can be incredibly dangerous, especially with heat and dehydration.
So can
And
the
then
northerns with so can the northerns with frostbite and hypothermia and
yeah, I don't think I realized how really different a lot of this is. And I
you.
know
I think that's one of the most correct things you've said about our society since I've known you.
it's different, okay? And I'm very out of my element here. I've been gone for 2 years, and I don't know what I'm doing still.
Are you supposed to?
I thought by now I'd know what I was supposed to do. I thought by now I'd be more set, but
Set for what?
I thought I'd be back by now. But I find the more I think about it, the more I don't want to go back. It's just different, I guess.
Did you plan on going back since we first met you?
After the tower job, yeah. That was just a job. But now, no. I don't want to.
And you say you don't have anything set?
Anything what, sorry?
You said you don't have anything set up. You said you don't know what you're doing.
Well, now I do, in a sense. I mean,
And he walks over and he like tugs on the red band around her arm, or her belt, or wherever it is.
I sometimes feel really out of my element. Ignore the pun. I'm not politically inclined. I used to think my only purpose was to take care of children. I thought I was going to be put into Scion, but now I guess I know why I wasn't.
He tilts his head and is like, because some jackass is holding more power than you thought you shouldn't.
No, it's because it was most likely predicted.
He narrows his eyes. What do you...
There's a ceremony in Genasi culture. When we turn 12, it's called the choosing. Each child is... I won't go into extreme detail. There is a ritual that takes place. Partial bits of future are predicted. The child is put into a branch, and you grow and learn through the tribe. In that sense. It's how our society is based. And even though I had psionic abilities, I wasn't put into the class built for scions. I was meant to be a matron, and now I guess I kind of understand why.
You got, like... He has this, like... somewhat incredulous look on his face. He's like, so... you were basing a lot of your life expectations on that?
On your choosing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's a very serious ceremony. There's a lot of magic involved. And divination, and... it's a lot. It's not more so expectation. And obviously there are specializations within branches, and it helps you to find your niche. It's why our community is as strong as it is. I've never spoken about this with you before.
He kind of, like, tells us... He kind of, like, shakes his head and just... We've spoken before. Not this... I don't know, directly.
There's a tinny whisper of, "Do you mean calmly?"
There's a flick on the armor.
Well, no, it's just how my people are. So to come to a society like this, it's very different.
Yeah, I can see that. For one, to be frank, I find the idea of getting to the age of 12 and having someone, magic or not, tell you this is what you're gonna do, or even seem to imply something like that.
Oh, no, they don't tell you. You find it. You see it.
From what? The magic they present to you?
It's a very complex ritual, but you see the potentiality of your own future, if that makes any sort of sense.
And seeing that doesn't change it?
Mind you, I couldn't foresee much of this, but I knew matron was right for me, even though I was a scion.
And you still
knew
think
there
it was?
Yes, very much so. I know very much that a matron was what I want to be. Yeah. Out of character, it is very complicated, and I have explained it to Conrad, and I am saving a lot of explanation.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm being brief.
Yep. Okay.
Details. But, eventually, if you'd like, I can explain more to all of you. Well, especially if we do end up going back. There is a ritual for when a traveler returns. You will have to know about it.
Why will we have to if it's for you?
Because you will need to be prepared for how loud and odd, I suppose in your terms, it would be. For me, it's normal. But you will be incredibly out of your element.
Yeah, he does listen and is like, I'm usually not exactly in the easiest element. I prefer it that way.
Speaking of... Here, Ariel, after I say this sentence. Speaking of which, my youngest brother is going to take a very big interest in you.
And at that point, Rosalind comes running up, shouting, I think I got it! I did it!
What did you do?
I Well, I'm not really sure, but it's magic. Here, Ashta.
You understand
Undamaged.
how little confidence that fills me with, right?
I'm
No,
so
really,
excited.
look at it. It's undamaged. I think it's better than it was before. In fact,
He kind of like tilts in his hand. Do you like relacquer the little piece of wood or what?
not by hand, and not with any kind of lacquer. I just put magic into it until it stopped glowing.
It is a very complex ritual.
It took about 4 hours to do. I can't really go into all the details. The Fane helped.
He kind of like puts it like kind of like turns it between his hands. Like, do the Fane know what it does?
I believe they have a general idea, yes. Seeing as I know what it does, and the Fane are inside my head.
And he like kind of like makes the hand motion for like go on.
Ashta, you don't need me to explain what shaving is to you.
He he has this like look on his face like, no, what did you enchant it with?
What, Ashta knowing how to shave?
I
Impossible.
didn't really enchant it with anything. I just made it magical, made it cut better, perhaps. I just wanted a test run to see if putting magic into something would work.
As it goes into his pack,
You
pulls
might
out a
need
small
to
piece
do.
of paper
Yes, you might need to do the test.
and just kind of like drags it across in the like sharpness test style.
The moment it touches the paper, it feels like it's already through the other end. And it's silent doing it too. There's no sound of any kind of like the slight rasp you get. Nothing.
Oh.
He looks at that and he
Oh.
Mhm.
does like a quick motion downwards through the paper.
It's in half already.
He looks and is like,
I might have overdone it.
no
Is
offense.
that not going to work?
Are you trying to kill me?
Absolutely no.
Ashta,
No, of
normal
course not.
razors don't exactly work on your face.
He goes like, what do you mean?
I'm sorry. I'll replace it.
No, it's. I'll
No,
try it. Just
I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Ashta, I've seen you shave in the morning and have stubble by noon.
he gives a look and it's like, is that not why you do it every day?
No. No, Ashta. Normal hair does not grow that fast.
He gives a tilt to his hands like, am I considered normal?
No, you are
Ashta,
not.
as a note, you haven't needed a haircut in a long time. Your hair also hasn't gotten longer than you want it to be in a long time.
Hmm.
Oh my god. Are you telling me Ashta just envisions a default state where he has stubble and that's why
He
it
fucking wills his hair
my.
to grow.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He kind of like turns the right side like, I'll give it a try, but
If it ends up being too much, if you cut yourself too easily, tell me. I will replace it. Do not try to sneak it past and play it off as nothing, alright?
no, given the way it goes through that paper, if it doesn't work as a shaver, it works as a weapon.
Alright, but I'll still have to replace it for its intended function for that, a 3-4 hour period where the stubble is gone?
They're not expensive. I get what you mean. Whatever.
Consider it the thought that counts.
He's gonna go off to like a nearby washout.
Yeah, and you shave, and yeah, it looks normal to you. It's like, yeah, you shave as usual. The hair is cut. It's weird that it's still it's short, but it's like past noon. Yeah, shave.
But he doesn't usually shave this late in the day either.
Yeah, exactly. So, shave it. Looks good. Yeah, works well.
Now,
It's very comfortable too. You actually, despite the fact that you're used to shaving and you very rarely cut yourself, every once in a while there'd be like a nick. It's like you don't even have to think about it. It's like you put the razor on your face and you're already shaved.
Alright. He'll walk back with it then. Like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, and he looks like his standard hour after he woke up at breakfast. He usually doesn't have much stubble. But yeah, clean shaven right now.
well,
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how long it lasts.
Seems to work fine. In fact, better than fine.
Alright, I'm glad.
Oh, but no, Rosalind,
Yes?
you happened to walk in. Where have you been?
In my room.
As far as I can tell, doing this.
Oh, hello,
He
Caius.
flicks it back and puts it in the pocket.
Wait, Caius, who's that with you?
Kind of just waves. He's like, hi there.
Hello?
What'd you do?
Caius, who is this?
John?
Fuck, he's dead.
Oh my fucking
Oh,
god,
no.
he's fucking dead.
It's always at that
John.
moment, isn't it?
Yep,
John.
Oh, he dead.
we killed him.
Shut him in
But
the head.
I think we can leave that for next time.
Oh god, yeah, sorry.
There he is.
Sorry.
Wait,
Okay,
yeah,
let's
no,
go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Really had to be. Okay.
What did you do?
Well,
What did you do?
I was
Ashta,
look-
let him
I
explain.
was looking for a
Jesus.
wrestling promotion to train with. I ended up finding my fan club.
I'm sorry.
It was
What?
really weird.
You have a
It all
fan
happened
club?
really fast.
Rosalind,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
you remember this guy?
Oh?
He's a son of your father's barber.
Oh god. Do I know his name?
You do,
What is
Oh
his
my
name?
god.
Brennan.
Aww.
And she just
Aw.
looks... Brennan, isn't it?
Yes, Lady Rosalind.
Oh.
I didn't know you were a
Brennan.
fan of Caius here.
I didn't know you knew Mr. Caius.
We're all rather close.
Oh god.
Almost uncomfortably acquainted at this point.
Yeah.
Did he throw you guys to the ground right away too?
No.
No.
If he throws me to the ground, I will burn his face off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on,
Only-
guys. Tell them what I did.
So, why is this young man accompanying
Give me
you?
a concussion.
Oh,
Why is he here? He
Yeah,
wants
okay.
to join.
Why is he here?
Speak up there,
He
buddy.
wants to join. He's cooking a hair.
He wants to what now?
He wants to come along with me, I guess. That was peer pressure.
When did you meet him?
Today, I believe.
Like a couple hours ago.
Alright, well,
And Ashta walks over in front of the Goliath and looks up. It's like
he shrinks down. He's like, "Don't give me a concussion, please."
he's like
Ashta,
he just looks him up and down. It's like, you want to drop everything here and go on that? And he points up to the castle in the sky.
I kind of just want to learn how to fight like Mr. Caius does.
I showed him the basics.
Brennan,
Can Ashta inside this?
Sure.
He wants to get a cut of this guy's jib. Sight. 19.
As far as you can tell, it's kind of a meek kid.
Rosalind, you can vouch for him.
Well,
At least one of his talents.
I know a bit, and she just explains the connection very briefly.
and Brennan, what is it that you're able to do?
I'm good at running a household. I can cut hair. I'm a pretty good cook.
Someone say cook.
I make a fantastic shepherd's pie.
Okay, Zinnia.
I'm sold.
Shepherd's pie.
He can make shepherd's pie. I remember I had that in the north. That's really good.
Can you teach me?
It is. I will warn you, we don't have a fully functional kitchen just yet, but it is on the list of things to do.
Oh, that's alright. I have a lot of supplies with me.
You
You-
what?
You're
I
already
like him
packed up?
already.
Yeah, apparently.
I was planning to run away.
Oh, honey, why?
Ashta leans in and is like,
Yes.
go on.
We were gonna start a wrestling troupe,
Oh.
a parody one for Caius and, his old family, and kind of honor the name.
Yeah.
Esther's
And
like,
he, Like,
Grinning.
like Caius looks visibly uncomfortable at the mention of Caius and his family. Like, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Again,
Listen,
we're not gonna
don't
we're not gonna pretend like we're as good as you were, but tell the stories.
Yeah, no, obviously. Hey, I just wanted to, maybe you should take a look at the kitchen and see, what if you need any other supplies before we.
Asher feigns over to Caius. It's like, if you need to leave because you're uncomfortable, just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Listen, I have to
go.
Here,
I have to
Brennan.
mow my dog. Anyway,
Here,
He
Brennan.
he glances at the straight razor in Ash's hand and goes, "Okay."
Oh my god, no.
Oh, right here. He kind of like turns it in his hand. And it's like, he kind of like feels like the bit of him. Does Ash have a bit of stubble back by now?
No, actually.
No.
He goes then. That's weird. He kind of like turns it in his hand and it's like, what are you looking at this?
Well, he said he's gonna mow his dog. I thought that might be related.
No, he's making up a terrible excuse because he's slightly uncomfortable.
Gotcha. I kind of guessed as much, but I didn't want to assume,
Here, Brennan.
Yes?
Come with
Yep.
us. We're about to go get ready for dinner. If you're going to be a part of this, then
You're not
you
gonna
can
burn my face off, are you?
I'm not going to burn your face off.
Okay.
Don't we have a couple more hours before dinner still?
You do. You guys have 4 more hours to dinner.
Oh, we do? What the fuck?
Yeah, that was
Those are the
only long enough for Rosalind to get her things done.
I think we had 3 more in that case, because 4 for that, and we had 7 to begin with. So,
Oh, you're right. Sorry. 3 more.
3 more.
In
Can
that case,
I ask
Esther,
for... Sorry.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just sword shield practice, unless you need Ashta for something.
Ash is fine to do that.
Does Esther need
Okay.
either of us for anything?
Esther would probably just want to ask for maybe an hour of enchanting training.
Alright,
and then
Rosalind will
2
spare an
hours to
hour
meditate.
for enchanting training and 2 hours for sword shield afterwards.
Does Zinnia not have you? Is Zinnia learning that too?
Enchanting?
Yeah.
Sort of, but I'm working towards something else, something fun. And I
Alright,
really want to get it done quickly.
so
No, I'm
yeah,
just wondering. Yeah.
um,
Okay.
Rosalind will spend
Yeah.
an hour to give Esther, I believe, 2 now.
Indeed.
Maybe next time Rosalind does an actual enchanting, Esther can sit in on it and help observe or something, and
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
that'll count as training.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, sword shield. I want to see Dex things, just cause.
And as for Zinnia?
I'm gonna keep doing that one training that I've been working on for a while.
She attacks.
AC is 23.
Yeah, I know that. I figured if it was on a basis of swing and then dexterity saving throw like it usually is, she has a chance.
That's fair. That's fair.
She's just trying to hit a target. She's just trying to
Yep.
get clang.
Guys, where the fuck do you go?
Dexterity saving throw. Oh, she gets hit.
Caius quietly has a panic attack in in some room in the castle.
For 3 hours?
For like a good 30 minutes, and then.
If you want to say 3 hours, I'm fine with that. Just making sure.
It's a mood.
Get panic attack training.
No, but he'll put.
Guys, fuck,
he'll,
Kevin.
Yeah.
That's called
2
coping.
hours.
Hey.
He'll put 2 hours. He'll
Don't
put 2 more
act
hours into
like
strong style.
Okay.
Could Esther potentially go back up to the castle to meditate with the bird for 2 hours?
You would need to bring Rose down.
Can the birds not teleport people?
You'd have to also call a bird down.
Can you not
Esther's
do that
gonna
with Fane?
feign a bird.
Yep. And again, they have Dimension Door, which is 500 feet.
Esther's gonna feign a bird.
A couple of them actually come down. Like, look at you. It's a Runestone and 2 that you aren't gonna.
Hi, can I come
You
back?
notice as they come down, there's a lot of like little kids pointing at them, being like, "Whoa!"
I am now the firebird lady.
Yeah.
If Rosalind and Asher are at all, Asher might just send a quick faint ping, just like, hey, watch the public presence.
But
I'm
yeah,
just leaving.
birds come down, and honestly, they could just carry you up.
Yes!
I do so. Esther is relatively light, honestly, so.
That's this fucking
She doesn't have a crazy suit of armor or anything to worry about, so yeah, not hard to do.
Glowing hair makes her lighter.
There we go. The whole
So
person is one lighter.
Is that 4 hours then? Because I get help.
After-
from-
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
That misses. That misses.
Ooh.
Her armor is better than that now. Ha ha! Critical! That's a crit.
I
She
just
hits.
sneezed my headphone across the room.
Oh no, did you
Oh, no.
seriously?
I did.
Anyhow,
They're good. They're good now. It hurt.
I just crit Ashta.
Damn.
Crit magnet.
Mhm.
I think she technically does like 2d6 plus 2 on that. Yeah, it's the whistling sword. I should probably click that instead. Oh well, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Alright, so, with that done, dinner comes around, and we will save that for next session.
Okay.
Alrighty.
One more.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright, that misses.
Oh, Rosalind's doing good today.
Unusually.
And throughout the entire training, not a hair of stubble.
The razor word. Alright. I'll go ahead and end the recording unless somebody has something else they really need to say.
Good.
Sorry, how many hours was that for Rosalind?
2.
2?
Doubled to 4.
Right. Yeah, just so I have one more.
It was
118.
the one...
Yep, okay, we're good.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you all next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be more awake.
I
Yes.
fucking hope so.
Although honestly, this was a pretty fucking funny session.
Yeah.
It usually
Yeah.
is. Okay.
The lift.
Caius has a son!
God.
Is that the right? I don't know. Okay.
He has a protege.
Yeah.
The
It's even worse.
Well, more next time then.
It's even worse. Yeah.
Bye.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Like that